everyone, my name is Pixelriffs. How's your weekend going? Hope you're all very well. Here we are, back in Minecraft. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Got some space tea brewing in the chat, space tea brewing in real life as well. Hello! Luke Lad, Paranor. Mercor, welcome along. Orange TRM, Minecraft Season 7. Not in this stream, my friend. Not in this stream. Big Lothar, that's the guy. Sly Fox. Just Fanka, Sephora, Petricoria, Gambek, hello, welcome. Excuse me while I pour myself a cup of tea. It's really cold today. Don't know what that's about. Might need to go and get a slightly warmer item of apparel for this. Got to keep this bit warm. Anyway, oh, music is loud. Thank you. Yeah, I need to turn that down. There we go. There we go. Yeah, the Minecraft soundtrack has so many like peaks and troughs that sometimes I forget, and I have my speakers turned down kind of low today. So what's up? How are we? Today we're going to be trying to catch some zombie villagers. We're playing Pokemon with villagers at this stage. Which is fun. I've got a new project going, so spoilers for tomorrow's episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide on YouTube. Today we're going to be catching some zombie villagers, and if that doesn't work out, or if it does work out, actually, probably both, we're going to make a nether tunnel back from an area that is quite a distance from my nether hub. We're about 1,000 blocks out as the nether ghast flies, I guess. I was trying to think of like a nether equivalent of a crow. I guess not. Ginger the Lily with the 3 months, coming through with the 3 months of support. Thank you so much for the resub. Can we see some sub hype in the chat, please? Oh, the tea is nice and warm. You won your first raid yesterday. Congrats. Very cool. At the microphone, hello. Shane is here. Good to see you as well. Right. Let's do this. Let's play a video game. And I can probably turn things up a little bit here. Good. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. So this area will be unfamiliar to you because you are not psychics and you have not yet seen tomorrow's episode of Survival Guide. This is a jungle swamp like border, I guess. This is a jungle edge biome and there's a swamp over there, and I'm going to try and fly around a whole bunch at night and try and spawn and capture a couple of zombie villagers. Before anybody in the chat says, oh, just find a zombie spawner. Doesn't work that way. Zombie spawners don't spawn zombie villagers in Java Edition. I don't think they do in Bedrock Edition anymore, do they? Did they change that yet? Because I have plenty of villagers elsewhere. Like, finding villagers or finding, like, zombie villagers in specific locations is not a problem. But the ones that spawn in the swamp or the jungle, or ones that are bred in the swamp or the jungle, have unique costumes. So, one of the things I want to do is get a villager from a jungle and a villager from a swamp, just to see what the outfits look like. Preferably, we'll get a whole bunch of them and we'll make a villager breeding kind of settlement around here, on the border between the jungle and the swamp, and then they can be born pretty much wherever. I kind of want to see how that works. We'll see. But yeah, today's mission is to basically try and grind so that we can actually get zombie villagers here, because I have the stuff to cure them, but I have yet to... Actually, I've seen one. I saw one, but I was not able to capture him before the sun came up, and he burned, because there were too many other mobs around. And as you can see, the other mobs have no problems whatsoever spawning. The zombie villagers are being incredibly scarce for me today. So I'm hoping that having a bunch of people watching in the chat will encourage them. And if anyone has any, motivational words of encouragement for zombie villagers, then please do feel free to let those words fly in the chat, because otherwise we're in for a long stream of not much happening. I've seen a lot of zombies. A lot of spiders. Had to patch up a few creeper explosions. This baby zombie is like running the labyrinth in this swamp. It's so cool. It's like watching a rat in a maze. But yeah, zombie villagers seem to be pretty scarce. I mean, they are like 5%, I think, of normal zombie spawns. So they're pretty rare to begin with. And baby zombie villagers are 5% of zombie villager spawns, apparently. So you'd think I would have seen a couple by now, but no. I've only seen one, and I didn't get him. The zombie villager hype has started in the chat. There we go. That's sure to get them out of the woodwork. See, plenty of regular, like, I don't know what you'd call them, Steve zombies? Zombies classic. But no zombie villager anywhere. And what I've been doing, Icy with the 20 bits for zombie villagers. Thank you, thank you. So what I've been doing is getting a few fireworks from like attacking creepers and growing sugarcane around here. And I've been flying up into the air to despawn stuff during the night. If I don't see any zombie villagers, I just fly up as far as I can. Or like to roughly world height. To about like Y200-ish if I can. And then when I come back down, all of the mobs on the surface have despawned. And then they respawn and there's a whole bunch of new ones. But it doesn't seem like that's really helping. So like if I come back down here now... Regular zombies, regular zombies... Regular zombies... Skeleton, skeleton, creeper, creeper... And skeletons fighting each other, which is always fun. Skeleton there under the tree... I'm going around this jungle edge biome and the swamp biome. Just seeing if I can spawn one in. But I think it's probably now too light. And during the day we can do a little bit of other stuff. We can maybe do some building around here. We can do some material harvesting. Or we could go through to the Nether and work on the Nether tunnel. And then do that in shifts, basically. And then come back to the overworld when it's time to... for it to be night again. Why do I need zombie villagers? So that I can start a village. I could bring some existing villagers over here, but I kind of committed myself to curing some zombie villagers. And I have... in one of these chests, if it will open, thank you. I have a shulker box here with 5 splash potions of weakness and 5 golden apples in it. So we can always cure a zombie villager if we find one. They all hide underground. I've looked in a few caves around here as well and not really found any there, so... like, there are a few dark spots still around here, but they will not be great sources of zombie. And there are a few caves that I've already, like, lit up and so forth. Why didn't I do Survival Guide of Bedrock Edition? Because I don't know how Bedrock Edition works. It is kind of very different to Java Minecraft, and I've played Java Minecraft for a lot longer. I've been playing Java Minecraft for almost 5 years, or over 5 years now, I think. Your villager breeder won't work and you're using my design. Have you updated to 1.14? Because villager breeding mechanics are totally different. That is what I'm actually hoping to cover over the next few episodes of the survival guide. Hence, the need for zombie villagers. If you haven't updated to Minecraft 1.14 yet, then reasons the villager breeder could not be working. You built it wrong, number one. Cosmic Dancer with 13 months. Unlucky for some, very lucky for the pair of us, I suppose. Thank you so much for the 13 months of support. Why don't I find a regular village? Because I want to breed some villagers from the jungle and the swamp. Because they have different costumes and it's fun. Petrol Pirate coming through with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for subscribing. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. And I appreciate the support. Thank you. But yeah, if you haven't built the villager breeder wrong, there might be some doors in the surrounding area that are confusing the breeder. Because any doors within a pretty much like a 64 block radius around your villager breeder and within about 5 blocks vertically could cause a problem. Alternatively, are you playing on Bedrock Edition? Because if you are, the ratio of doors to villagers is different, and you just need to spam more doors all the way around the outside of the breeder. Do I know how Iron Golem spawning works in 1.14? You have 20 golems in your small village. Yeah, it works based on a system called Gossip, where the villagers will talk about stuff during the day, and some of the stuff they will talk about increases or decreases the player's reputation. Some stuff they will talk about basically is the need for an Iron Golem, and if they have slept and worked within the last basically 2 day cycles, then it is possible for them to generate some gossip that suggests to the other villagers that they spawn an Iron Golem. Doc M has done some very good videos about this recently, including one where he demonstrates that it's possible to get an iron farm set up that will do a higher output than a 1.13 or earlier iron farm with a smaller number of villagers. You have to do a little bit of prep work first, and it requires you to capture a couple of regular zombies, or, well, just zombies in general. I think it could work with zombie pigmen as well if you wanted to. But basically you have to keep some of the villagers being scared of a zombie the entire time, but it's a very, very clever design. You're holding off building Doc M's farm 1.14.1 is coming up, and it's based on a bug. It's not necessarily based on a bug. I think the way it works right now is staying. I think that the only thing that relies on a bug is the detection range being on the positive axes. I think that's the only thing he mentioned that's like seems like a bug. But I think it is the mechanics themselves are sound, and that setup will still generate iron for you just because you've got villagers in a space, right? But the only other alternative is just to cram the whole thing full of villagers and lag out your server with a ton of entities being in the spawn chunks, which makes no sense. Yeah, the directionality seems to be something that could make it more efficient for now, but if they take the directionality element out, then presumably all it means is a small drop in efficiency and you can put those satellite villages anywhere. That's the impression that I get. I'm not a clever guy, so I don't really know if that's going to be the case or not, but for now I think the only thing that really has a bug to it as such is the directionality thing, and ultimately if that aspect of it is patched, I don't think there's going to be a problem with that. I'm going to take down a bunch of the trees around here just to create a little bit more open spawnable space, because I'm slightly worried some of these, if there are zombie villagers spawning around here, they might spawn under the trees and I might just not be noticing them. Do you have to use carrots to breed villagers? No, they will also breed if they are given bread, potatoes, or... Is there one other food? I know beets didn't work for a while. I don't know if that has been fixed or what. Thinking the directionality bug has a relationship to the mob spawning chunk issue. I don't know if that's the case, because you're looking at 2 different types of behavior there. But, you know, it might be a side effect of fixing the mob spawning issue. Where do baby villagers come from? 2 villagers. I mean... I'm sorry I don't have a funnier answer for you, but... Don't know whose design I'll be using for the iron farm. I mean, I'll try and make Doc M's one if it doesn't fundamentally change soon, but he did mention that it is a scalable design and it's possible for you to build it as big or as small as you want to, as long as you follow the current pattern of stuff. I think there is also probably a height limit based on the position of those satellite villages, but I don't foresee that being a huge issue if you want to make it in a bunch of different modules that are, say, 80 blocks apart or something like that. Tomorrow's episode is about wandering traders and setting up this place. Because basically, if I can get these zombie villagers to spawn, this is going to be like Village Week. You know how we did Castle Week previously on the YouTube channel? This is going to be Village Week. This is basically going to be me setting up a village from scratch. Getting 2 villagers, curing them, breeding them, looking at all of those new mechanics in 1.14, getting a villager of every profession like from scratch instead of just converting the ones who are in my trading hall. I kind of want to see what it's like to start out with nothing and have a village at the end of it. So I think Villager Week is going to be a good way to explore that. I hope you guys are up for that, because I thought it seemed like a fun idea, what with 1.14 being the new hotness, and everybody looking for a bit of a breakdown of these mechanics and how they work. I felt like it kind of made sense to do something like that. And I don't know if this is going to be Villager Valley, because, I mean, it's kind of a floodplain. Villager floodplain, I guess. Excuse me while I blow my nose, by the way. It's just cold today, and my nose is being affected. Villager Week is the alternative to Shark Week. Hey, add sharks to Minecraft, and then we'll talk about Shark Week, yeah? Is it raining in the UK? It is not. I mean, I assume it's raining somewhere. It's always raining somewhere, but it's not raining right now. It's just been colder the last few days than it was throughout the whole of April, basically. Like, it's gone back to being cold, which is annoying because I was really enjoying the fact that the weather was getting warmer. And it was really sunny yesterday, but it was kind of breezy. I think there was just a cold climate blowing in from somewhere. I know that's not how climates work, but you know what I mean. What do I think about using data packs? I probably wouldn't do too much of it myself, but I appreciate when some of them are useful, and it's kind of fun to have a vanilla equivalent of mods now. I know they're not technically vanilla or whatever, but like, it's whether you call it vanilla or default. It's kind of how I think of it. Keep breaking these leaves with like a silk touch tool by mistake. There we go. Cold low pressure front. That's the one. Like, yeah, the fronts. I'm never quite sure how fronts work. Will I ever do a playing with viewers stream? I have no idea at this point. Probably not if the survival guide continues the way it has been, because I'm kind of committed to doing a lot of stuff in this world, and it makes a lot of sense to do it here on Twitch. Also, playing with viewers is a little bit, I don't know, contentious for me, because a lot of the time you can't include everybody, and it sucks to leave people out. I don't want to be that guy. I've done stuff like that in the past. Like, back when I first got my OMG Chad shout-out, I used to stream from, like, the Hypixel server and stuff like that. But it's what viewers want to play, ultimately. It's like, you want to play vanilla, in which case, who sets up the server? If I have to do that, then it's, you know, like, it's weird, all of the additional stuff that has to play into it. What are we doing? Right now we are harvesting some trees and waiting for zombie villagers to spawn, so that we can hopefully trap them and cure them. And pouring tea. Tea is happening too. By the way, there's tons of new people coming in and asking what we're doing, just as other people have answered that question for the last person who asked. Yes, today, as the title might suggest, we are capturing zombie villagers. Or trying to, at least. If they will ever spawn, which apparently they won't. On Bedrock, there's a Guardian farm that's way more efficient. Good. I'm glad. Congratulations, Bedrock players. I know I already have a lot of villagers. I don't have any that are from a jungle or a swamp, though. This place, by the way, is about 8,000 blocks away from my base. It is the only place I could find within a 10,000 block radius where there is a jungle and a swamp biome next to each other. And because 1.14 is here, I want to try starting a village from scratch and actually building a village, instead of building like a trading hall or a villager breeder or whatever. Like, I want to try and build an organic, natural-feeling village. Because that's what Mojang really want you to do with the new mechanics, is like, build your own village from scratch, or take an existing village and redevelop it. But there aren't any existing villages in swamps or jungles. They just don't exist here, despite the fact that there are... Oh, sorry, pig. Despite the fact that there are villager costumes for both those biomes. Hi. Yeah, killing slimes is just fun. They're much less of a problem than some of the other mobs are. You just kind of wail on them. They're just big and bouncy, and I like them. Ow. Anybody see a zombie villager yet? It's a rare occurrence. You get 2 points. There's a witch over there, which is nice. I've also been here for, I'd say, like, the equivalent of a Minecraft week now. So local difficulty should be catching up. But normally local difficulty doesn't reach its peak until you've had the chunks loaded for a while, or you've, like, inhabited them for a while. Yeah, as you can see, I have a lot of slime right now. Witch! She turned me into a newt. What is this? There's one! We did it! Alright, we've got to lure him slightly closer to the campsite. He's a librarian, look. Excellent. A librarian in swamp garb, no less. You, back. Get out. Yes, yes, swamp librarian. Come to my jungle camp. Hi. Hello. Oh, it's good to see you. Good to see you after all this. No, you, back. Back up. Back up, buddy. Precision bow work. Do you see that? Caught. Bingo. Have a torch. Heyo! We did it! Well done, chat. You made good. I saw you there, cheering me on. Congrats. We've done it. Now let's see if this guy will hold anything. I kind of hope he does. You, back. Don't be trampling my potatoes either. Get wrecked. Okay, sleepy time. In fact, there is a creeper coming towards me, so sleepy time will have to wait. Sleepy time. Sorry for putting that song in everyone's heads. Heyo. The hype. The hype is real. We don't have a name tag, but I am just going to cure this guy on the spot. So, hopefully he shouldn't despawn at all. Once we've cleared this area out a little bit, should be fine. We're within, like, non-despawning range. That's why I wanted him closer to the camp, so I could sleep and get my gear without having to worry too much about that. But yes. Yes, we have a zombie villager at last. Just have to remember not to take the top off this thing. Hup, hup, hoo. Okie doke. Splash potion of weakness, golden apple. I assume this still works the way it always did. Hi! This way. Excuse me. Enjoy. Hey. He's cooking now, folks. He's cooking now. Excellent. Right, now we've got to wait on this guy to cure, so... Anyone got any jokes? I feel like we just have to hang out here and wait for him to cure, because if I get too far away at this point, he's going to just despawn while he's curing. Imagine if they made it be an enchanted golden apple. I would probably just start duplicating items at that point, Fry. I would spawn them in creative. Price of his trades are going to go down by a lot. How will I know? Why am I curing Zloy? Because I want him to work for me. The tables have turned. Victim number 1. Because once we cure this guy, he's not going to despawn, because villagers don't do that. So we should be able to go and get a name tag after that if we want to name tag him. But yeah, ideally we want one from the swamp, which is going to be this guy, and we want to get a zombie villager spawning in the jungle somewhere. Nice wrap up on Cobble Clicker. Oh, thank you. Glad you watched that. I thought it was a fun map. I enjoyed it immensely. I'm glad that other people seem to have as well. Because I know it's a departure from what I normally do on my channel these days. I've been thinking about doing a little bit more, like, on the weekends. Instead of doing Let's Play stuff with Cobble Clicker and so forth, I'm thinking about maybe doing something more akin to map reviews for Bedrock maps. It feels a little bit more kind of in line with the type of stuff I make now. It's tutorials, it's kind of not like educational content, but kind of more showcase content. I feel like that makes a bit of sense. And I've done map showcases before for one that was posted on the Minecraft Reddit a while ago. Why am I getting villagers from a swamp? Well, why do anything in this game? Let's be real. Like, why do I build anything? Why do I even make videos? Because I want to, dude. Because it's fun. Because swamp villagers don't spawn naturally in villages. So it's kind of fun to see what the costumes look like. Also, I need to cook some potatoes because I'm... I ran out of chicken just, like, flying around here just getting the zombie villagers to not spawn off camera like I was doing before. So, yeah, I kind of need to farm some produce while I'm here. And you can cook baked potatoes on campfires. So I've just been doing that and it doesn't use any fuel, which is really awesome. Is there anything like Mine Atlas for Bedrock? Yes, chunk base. Use chunk base. Let's turn hostile creature sounds up. I don't know why those are down. Friendly creature sounds likewise, because then I can hear this guy when he turns into a villager. There we go. There's your grumbly noise. Thanks for showing you how to make a music disc farm. Had so much trouble trying to get a skeleton and a creeper together. There are even better designs than that one, which we'll probably go into in future. I mean, if you get a creeper farm, which is entirely possible to build, and many people have been asking me to do that for a while, and you just channel that into an area with a skeleton, you can farm record discs for days. You can farm music discs all day long. There isn't really a point to it, because once you've got all of them, then what else are you going to use them for? But they're nice for decorations, I suppose. What are my thoughts on Truly Bedrock? I'm a friend of several people on the server. I think it's great. I'm glad they're putting together a nice, like, cohesive Bedrock server. What thoughts did you expect me to have about this? Am I going to do that Diamond Hoe advancement? Yes, eventually. I actually got the Subspace Bubble advancement to get out here. Like, I built this Nether portal out here, and that was the one that got me Subspace Bubble, so it's fun. I'm glad you like the campsite. I like the campsite too. Tomorrow's episode is all about wandering traders, and I'll give you a quick preview of what happens. I found a wandering trader near my town, near Founder's Forge, basically in the forest where that sheep farm kind of test thing that I built was, and then as soon as I came out here, as soon as I got to the surface, because my nether portal spawned in a cave, because as you can see right now, do you see the zombie vociferating in the chat? That means we have a villager now. The location of the nether portal was going to be in the swamp, and they won't spawn in water, so it spawned me in a cave at about Y22. As soon as I came out of the cave, there was another wandering trader. It was so perfect. Alright, let's see what we got now. Heyo! And he doesn't have any trades. Perfect. Look at you, though. Look at your little, like, he's almost got green hair. It's so cool. I love it. So, so good. But yeah, the Wandering Trader, I had never seen them before I recorded that episode. In particular, like, the the thing about Wandering Traders was I wanted to do an episode about one sooner, but they just didn't show up. And then that happened while I was making the episode about the sheep farm. So I cut out some footage from that episode where the Wandering Trader is actually in it, because I wanted to save introducing him until this episode that's coming out tomorrow. Yugabat, hello! Welcome along. Do I know a good 1.14 server? I mean, I'm running one for my patrons right now, but as far as, like, public servers go, no, not really. I don't really know much about public servers in general. Right, so here is a bit of a... Let's switch gears for a second. We are going to head back to the Nether and try and make a tunnel from this location to my Nether hub. Was this created in 1.14 or did I update? I updated, and you can see how that went in my Minecraft Survival Guide series, but it happened on a live stream. It happened on one of our Tuesday live streams here. I did the update, and it was fine. Like, nothing bad happened. Like, it just went as you might expect, really. So what we need to do here, really, is probably go, like, as straight as we can this way for 900 blocks or so. And then have a staircase like here, leading to this portal. We're going to neaten up all of this stuff another time, but... for now, I just want a temporary... Oh, hi, no. Bad. Naughty. Don't. Good, okay. So what I wanted to do with the swamp and jungle villagers, we will try and get a jungle villager at some point on this stream. What I wanted to do with the swamp and jungle villagers is start a breeder and see, for a start, like, see if you get swamp villagers, if you breed them over in the swamp, and then jungle villagers if you breed them over in the jungle, and then maybe take them both to a different biome and see what happens there, which is going to be kind of difficult because villagers don't like to leave their village site if they've got workstations and stuff, especially. But also, I want to demonstrate what happens when you have unemployed villagers and you give them different employment and stuff like that. So we're not actually going to do very much with the villagers on this stream except cure and, like, find and cure as many as we can. If we get, like, 5, which is the amount I've brought splash potions and golden apples for, then great. If we don't get 5, then I guess I'll just deal with however many I have. As long as we have at least 2, that shouldn't be a problem. So now we're just, I guess, digging a 3x3 over to my Nether hub. And this should hopefully be some fairly relaxing work, give or take the occasional encounter with lava. I've got 2 pickaxes on me, both of them have Unbreaking 3, so we should be able to break out this many blocks. Heyo! I haven't got any fire resist potions on me, so it's going to be quick reflexes and hopefully not too many one-wide bridges over lava. In which case, I could always go back to my jungle campsite and get some scaffolding. And that'll be fun. I don't feel like scaffolding a bridge through the Nether with that, you know, 6-block range that scaffolding has. There's some pretty good ways we could do that, though. It should be possible, at least. Does scaffolding burn? Yes, I have fire spread turned off in this world, though, so I don't think it will catch fire in the same way if you have fire spread turned off. Like other blocks, it will probably, like, catch fire, but not be destroyed because fire. And it definitely won't spread fire. Right, that's the first 100 blocks done. Oh, good. Here we go. This is what I was afraid of. Well, maybe not this. This is actually relatively tame. Let's at least get some fireworks on the hotbar, shall we? That is not fireworks. That was more netherrack. The Vixen with the 3 months. Thank you so much for the 3 months of support. Can we get some sub hype in the chat, please? Thank you for the resub. Do I have a plan on building in a different style? Asks Steve Weasel. Yes, absolutely. I think I've been building in a few different styles over in Founder's Forge anyway. Old Town and the castle and the town itself all have very different styles. I think there's a slightly different style to the industrial section as well. But what people usually want to say when they're like, will you ever build in a different style, is when will you stop building medieval-looking stuff? And the answer is eventually, but I don't know quite what it's going to look like yet. I have a few different projects that I want to do in future. I've got a... Where are you? Oh, okay. It's like that, is it? Behind the curtain of fire. Dang it, I thought I hit him. Don't try this at home, folks. Cosren with the 2 months. Thank you so much for the resub. Can we see some sub hype in the chat, please? Like, I have a couple of ideas. I want to do a modern kind of metropolitan city, a la New York or whatever. I want to do a ski resort at some point, and some of my patrons have already said they'd really like to see the ski resort happen, so that might turn up sooner rather than later. Yeah, I have a couple of plans for future projects, but right now I'm just having a lot of fun around Founder's Forge. And as far as the projects my viewers want, like as far as the stuff that works well for my channel, it's going to have a bit of variety in it, and people don't like when I build for too long. And there are people who like it and people who don't like it, so I'm trying to please everybody, which is always a bad idea. But for the most part, I plan to keep a good mix of building and other types of episodes. Especially when we get to the point where the mechanics become more complicated. Can do it this way now, which is slightly faster. But yeah, I have a bunch of ideas, all of which will at some point take shape in this world, as far as I know. Like, I do want this place to be a very long, ongoing project. Because keeping a single-player world like this kind of feels like you have something to show for it afterwards, other than all the videos. What we did with the mob farm, making it look like a balloon, was great for people who like both building and mechanical stuff. Yeah, exactly. And there are so few opportunities to do things like that, because so many of Minecraft's farms, like, I say Minecraft farms, the farms that players have come up with over the years for Minecraft do rely quite heavily on specific locations for efficiency, or just spawning the right type of mob, or anything like that. So if I want to make a drowned farm, for example, I have to make it over either a river or the ocean, and river is probably better because of fish spawning. But it's kind of difficult to then turn that into something that isn't just, oh hey, I'll make another hot air balloon. I've got to come up with some other type of build for that. And even then, there's no longer like a need for a tutorial because the point of the hot air balloon was like, hey, farms don't have to look like farms. Which was a great idea for an episode, I think. But then, ultimately, all I'm saying with, say, decorating a drowned farm is like, farms still don't have to look like farms. Like, there's not really much of a tutorial there beyond a block-by-block tutorial for the thing I'm building. Which, more often than not, I'm improvising on the spot, so it's kind of not the kind of thing I could normally make a tutorial for. The thing about it being over a river fry is that it also has to be further away from any other spawnable space, so making a hydroelectric dam sounds like a great idea, but it's a hydroelectric dam 170 blocks in the sky. Have to be a really tall dam. And then building the dam around it creates spawnable space, which is kind of the opposite of what you want. So you're kind of hamstrung in that sense. A lot of people said it was a really bad idea to build the hot air balloon around my mob farm anyway, because it creates more space where the game is checking for mob spawns, even if it doesn't actually spawn anything there because of lighting and player proximity and stuff. But I don't care because it looks nice and it still makes mobs, so... Flying glass hydroelectric dam, pretty much. Like, you're basically veering away from the kind of stuff that actually looks like a real-world thing after a certain point. And hot air balloons are obviously a real-world thing, but I could make, like, a fantasy airship design out of a drowned farm. Or, like, the iron farm I was going to turn into a floating island, and probably still will. I like the idea of decorating farms that way. I just wonder what there is I can still teach about doing that. Zamira with 300 bits saying hello from Germany to everyone. Showing some love with those 300 bits. Thank you so much for the bits. Hello from the UK. Hope Germany is having a pleasant weekend. If you're building something up there, it basically has to be a plane. Some sort of aircraft, I suppose. Yeah. Makes sense. My bow is almost dead. I know, you don't need to tell me. In fact, that's one of the reasons I want to build this tunnel back to my Nether hub, is because it's becoming clear to me that I need to go and grab a couple of things I did not bring with me and repair a couple of tools. My shield needs repairing as well. Basically, everybody in my comments the last little while has told me to put mending and unbreaking on my shield. And guys, I hate to say it, but I don't see the point. I so rarely get unbreaking books. If I get an Unbreaking 3 book from one of the villagers that I breed over at this swamp jungle project, then, I mean, sure, I'll do it once, but I find it so, like, surplus to requirements, considering how easily shields break and how cheap they are to make. C436 has subscribed. Tier 1 sub, thank you so much for subscribing. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million, and I appreciate the support. Can we see some sub hype in the chat, please? Paranor leading the charge on that sub-hype. That's right, have a cup of space tea, make yourself comfortable. We're going to be in it for the long haul. That Ghast is not in it for the long haul. That Ghast made a very quick escape. Unbreaking 3 is too rare to use on a shield. That's my point, really. Like, as far as, like, the weight in the enchantment table, not the W-A-I-T, but the W-E-I-G-H-T weight, it's quite rare. You get efficiency, or you get, like, projectile protection. You get some of those enchantments quite frequently. I have not seen an Unbreaking 3 book for a while. Zamira with a Twitch Prime sub. Coming through back-to-back sub hype. Thank you so much for subscribing. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. Have yourself a cuppa. Get comfortable. Grab your snacks. This Nether Tunnel project alone is going to take a substantial portion of today's stream, it feels like. Spivvy, if you made a resource pack that pretty much only added more 3D models to the game, would I use it? Probably not, and there's nothing against your resource pack. It sounds great, and I know a few people who are quite keen on having 3D modeled, like, sugarcane and rails and that kind of thing. But the thing about my series is I try and keep it looking as close to the default Minecraft as possible, just so that it looks like the version of Minecraft everyone else is playing, if you get me. Like, at this point now we've got this new texture pack and everything. I'm happy to use it because this is what Minecraft looks like for everyone now. But part of the reason I don't use shaders more, I only use them for kind of cinematic things like time lapses and that kind of thing. And part of the reason I don't use texture packs more frequently is that I want to make sure that folks in, say, Bedrock Edition or people playing on other platforms in general will look at a block and know that that's how the block looks in their world. And I know just, like, making 3D models that are faithful to the vanilla textures doesn't necessarily sound like a huge difference, but it would be weird to me to be making a tutorial series and then for somebody to say, like, wait a minute, the rails you've got there look different to my rails. Are they the same rails? It would just kind of confuse a few more people than I ever want to confuse, you know? I hope that clarifies things. Because I never want to seem like I'm, you know, turning down opportunities to do cool stuff with this series, but I feel like the point of the series is to show everyone what the default Minecraft experience can be. And I've done individual episodes about texture packs and stuff like that, so I could revisit that in future. By all means, send me a link on Twitter, too, because that's a place that I can very easily, like, come back to that idea from. Whereas, like, if something passes by in the Twitch chat and somebody mentions it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll look that up. I will probably forget by the end of the stream, and that's nothing against you. Oh my gosh! Cosmic Dancer with the 10,000 bits, dropping a huge bit bomb, and with the bonus bits as well. The bonus bits thing is still going on. That's awesome. Folks, if you don't know, by the way, thank you so much, Cosmic Dancer, for the 10,000 bits. So generous. If you guys do not know, if you cheer using the Bleed Purple cheer motes, the kind of Twitch heart cheer motes, it adds 10% to your cheer. I think up to a certain threshold, I think Twitch is only giving away a certain number of bits. But at no additional cost to you, and you get, like, bonus bits given to the streamer. And bits are basically Twitch currency, so it's a very, very cool way of supporting your favorite streamers while this promotion is still running. Spivvy, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Very much appreciate the support, and thank you again for the question about the resource pack. Best of luck with it. I hope it goes well. Please do feel free to drop me a link, and I'll try and promote it if it looks good. Ah! No, bad. Very bad. Do not have fire resist potions. Very bad. Although you're usually okay in lava if you just get, like, slightly singed by it these days. Whoa, okay, we have, like, a lava fall over here I need to deal with, apparently. Hello? Did I just get really lucky with, like, lava pockets in this place? Zamira with the 300 bits as well. The support is so real on the stream today, you guys. Thank you. Some people drop in some General Kenobis in the chat. Oh gosh, what was the reference we made? Gunkleberry or Guhunkleberry with a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much for subscribing. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. Dr. 83 is here as well. Hello. Good to see you. How are you? Hope your weekend's going well. Alright, 600. So we got about 300 blocks of the way there so far. Luke J21 with a Twitch Prime sub coming through. More back-to-back sub hype, you guys. Thank you so much. The sub train. The sub train is real right now. Enjoy your emotes. Luke, you are 1 in a million. Thank you so much for the support. Anyone remember what the actual title was of what? Has somebody messed with the title? The stream title has been updated to Zombie Villager or something. Nice. Let me refresh my dashboard and I can edit that. I do like that. Zombie Villager or something. Great. Great work. There we go. I've updated it. It's all good. I haven't got the little box character in it, but we can grab that from somewhere. Yes, Doctor 83. Welcome to the weird world of commands. That's something that takes a bit of getting used to. Okay, speaking of stuff that takes a bit of getting used to, a lot of lava bridging to do here, so gonna have to stay on our guard. Yeah, I've started using those little box characters that you can get from the character map or symbols menu as little separating characters. I kind of think of them as like the dot in Disney Pixar. Oh, we get to walk on some glowstone here for a bit. Literally walking on sunshine. I mean, technically... Whoa, hello. Oh, I see how it is. That could have been terrible if I wasn't wearing elytra. This game, you guys, this game. How did that even happen, by the way? I don't think I broke that. I think it was just like that. Funny. Alright, safe as of about 10 blocks from here. Heart attack. Don't worry, guys, I got it. I'm a professional, he says, checking his hubris once again. Is Kuro in the chat, by the way? I've got some people keeping checks and balances on me every now and again. Duds versus with a 2 months of Twitch Prime support. Thank you so much for the resub with Twitch Prime. You guys with the support on these weekend streams, man, I so appreciate it. We're also nearly at 250 viewers right now. That is crazy stuff. Thank you once again. I do like when the tunnels we're making can kind of cut through some of these floating nether islands. I don't like when they cut through the floor. That is something I would prefer not to happen, if you don't mind. So at least now we have like a panic path, basically. We have like a get your head down and just run that way for 400 blocks. Make it back to the portal. Ideally, we want it to be 3 wide or wider. Walking diagonally like this, if you can do it, and placing blocks against something is apparently faster than walking backwards and doing it. Like this. Like the backwards crouch walk. This feels faster to me. The Vixen with 1,100 bits with the bonus bits. Thank you so much for the generous cheers. Cool. Can Gus destroy glowstone? Yeah, glowstone is definitely not blast proof. It is quite a fragile material. But that's fine, we can farm glowstone eventually. We'll set up a witch farm sooner or later. So happy for unbreaking right now. With the pickaxes. Be using a lot more durability. People even use minecarts in Minecraft sometimes. They're very useful for item collection. And people sometimes use them for player transport, especially on the Psycraft server. They basically reinvented the minecart travel with their piston bolt network, but that's a very kind of far future undertaking as far as my world goes, because I'm not the redstone genius that those guys are. I also don't have a full team of people working on this world, it's just me. The wool farms are so cool. Glad you liked it, man. I'm very, very happy that that design is... working as well as it is. And it's nothing revolutionary, like other people have come up with a similar design, so it's really not, like, not something that I can take credit for. But the mechanics kind of suggested themselves. It's pretty straightforward once you've got the idea that sheep can be sheared with dispensers, then the rest of it kind of puts itself together. What is over here? Ooh. The terrain is changing. This is good. Makes me happier than bridging over a lava lake anyway. Will I make a witch farm like the one Mumbo made? Probably not like the one Mumbo made, but I plan on making a witch farm at some point. The thing about exploding out all of the terrain underneath the witch farm the way he did is basically you just eliminate caves by doing that, and you can eliminate caves in a similar way by just going through any cave systems in the area and lighting them all up and making them spawn-proof. But yeah, I don't plan on digging out like a 128 by 128 block perimeter with TNT mining. I don't think that's my jam. Is there a way to reduce the lag caused by the new chunk loading? Not really. I mean, lowering your render distance is probably going to be the best bet, really. But yeah, I think a lot of people are just going to have to wait for 1.13.1 to improve the chunk loading issue. Yes, you can delete a whole bunch of blocks with commands, but this is survival Minecraft. That's kind of not the point. I wouldn't even need to delete them. I could just fill in the caves. Like, if you want to talk about doing stuff with commands, then, you know, I could just create a witch spawner if I wanted to. Like, that's not the point. The point is to do it in survival. Oh, Kuro's here. I can tell because the word hubris is being written in all caps in the chat. CN, thank you for the hosts. If you want to use commands, just spawn in the drops. I know, right? Just go into creative mode and give yourself some glowstone. Like, why bother? I'm going to do episodes about commands at some point, but, yeah. What am I digging this tunnel for? Well, why are there reasons to dig tunnels in the Nether, Streg? Like, you can use context clues here. Why does one typically dig a tunnel in the Nether? .14 iron farm, please. YouTube.com/docm77. There's your iron farm. Enjoy. It's Chopping Sunday. It is kind of Chopping Sunday right now. Tubbo with the raid. Hello. What's up, lads? How are you? Hope you're very well. Welcome along, raiders. Let's see some hype in the chat for the raid from Tubbo. Returning the favor, I see. Very, very cool. Welcome along. How was your stream? And shoot the ghast in the butt. Do it. Nope, he's going away. Fine. That arrow's going to come back to haunt me if it... No, I think it fell. Good. Good. Hello, Tubbo. What's up, my man? How are you? Hope you're well. Hey, folks coming in from the Tubbo raid, welcome along. If you don't know who I am, my name is Pixel Riffs. I'm a YouTube Minecrafter and streamer. Streaming here on the Twitch for a lovely audience. Welcome to the stream. Today we're working on a couple of things. I'm working on catching some zombie villagers out in a jungle and swamp biome so we can take a look at the new villager costumes that the jungle and swamp villagers have, because no natural villagers generate out there. But right now I'm working on a nether tunnel to and from that place so that I can get to my nether hub real quick. Because otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get home very easily. I flew there initially in the nether, but I worry a little bit about not being able to get to my XP farms for elytra durability, and eventually I'm going to run out of rockets. See my face for the first time, like the beard. Oh, thank you. I quite like the beard too. I've grown rather fond of it of late. 280 people here right now. Thank you guys so much for stopping by the stream today. Hope you're all having a good day. Drop a follow if you're not following already. We on that Twitch grind. Nearly at 7,000 followers too, which is really awesome. Thank you guys so much. Can you already convert your existing single-player world into a realm? I believe you can. I'm not that experienced with realms. It's something I plan to cover as a topic for a future video, because a couple of people have asked me to talk about, like, multiplayer Minecraft a little bit more. But, yeah, at some point... we got the follows coming in. Thank you, guys. Yeah, at some point I'll look into realms, but I don't really know that much about realms. I know you can download a realm you've been playing on and continue to play it offline once your trial expires, if you're just getting the realms trial. But I think it is possible to upload your single-player world to realms as well. I don't know how you do it. It is Netherrack Surfacing Sunday. Everyone trying to brand this day of the week, this young day. I feel like we can't really lock Sunday down to any one activity, but yeah, we are kind of bridging today. I guess it's bridging Sunday. How's the yield from the wool farm? I mean, it's not anything spectacular, but all you really need to do is add more sheep if you want it to be better. I haven't really timed it or anything. I'm not that interested in getting rates, because there are going to be more efficient ways of doing it ultimately, and that's for the technical players. I just wanted a wool farm. Something that will farm sheep in the background automatically. I bet you there's somebody out there who's, like, optimized a design like that already. They've already got, like, 3,000 wool per hour with a single sheep. Again, with the unbreaking suggestions, by the way, because the same people, I think, probably, who suggested I put unbreaking on my shield was like, you can enchant all of those shears with unbreaking. I was like, do you know how many pairs of shears that is? Like, what is 16 times 9? I'm literally pulling up a calculator right now because I can't do maths in my head. That's 144 pairs of shears. 144 unbreaking 3 books if you want to put unbreaking on all of those shears. And why would you do that to yourself? Why, my friends? Like the wool farm, since you made it, it's simple. Yeah, no, it's pretty simple. Like, as long as you've got a decent amount of redstone components, as long as you can make, like, observers and dispensers and stuff, which really aren't that expensive, even in the early game. Once you've got access to the Nether, you can make a bunch of observers, really. Then, yeah, that farm is super simple to make. Alright, 200 blocks to go, and then another 700 that way, give or take. There's also the problem that I don't know exactly what the coordinates of my Nether hub are off the top of my head, so we'll probably come out like off-center from the hub, but that'll be fine. We can correct that in time if we want to. Should probably also switch pickaxes for a second here, just so I don't accidentally burn through my Silk Touch pickaxe too quickly. Not speaking about the levels you need. Oh yeah, levels are another thing. And eventually you could get there with just grinding on an XP farm. Like, go to my Guardian farm, kill a bunch of Guardians, get the XP from that, set up an enchantment table there if I wanted to. I could do it. The question is why. Like, I can't remember. I think, say, like a set of shears has roughly 300 durability. I think it's a little bit less, but it's roughly 300. Gonna completely interrupt that for a second. Time Rider Plays with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. But yeah, if you think about a set of shears having maybe 300 durability, you got 9 of those in a dispenser. That's 2,700 durability. And each of those sets of shears is going to get you, like, 2 wool per durability on average. You're talking, like, 5,400 wool, which is, I think, like, 4 double chests. A double chest contains... Or is it a single chest that's, like, 1,700 and something? So, like, 2 double chests, then. Roughly 2 double chests of wool. I have a single barrel under each of those. Like, you're going to run out of time long before you run out of durability on those shears, let me tell you. All your villagers are unemployed. Give them boys workstations. Put them to work. Ah! Oh, hi, you're over there. Nice. Good sniping position. I can't even reach him right now. Do I have... Oh. Oh. Who wants to see me shoot a ghast with a crossbow? Hey, fella. Ow. That was rude. Rubbish. Anyway. Where were we? Need to fix that. That's going to be a problem. Beautiful. Ugh. That's nasty. Why would you do that to glowstone? This game is cruel. Cruel and unusual. Also, I'm getting a little bit of lag because the lava is draining away. Oh boy, we're going to get some more of that. Ah, there we go. Solved! RIP frames. Nice. Might have to actually shoot him with a bow, though. There we go. Something that's got a bit of power. Man, there's so many ghasts now. Why am I bridging using netherrack when there are so many ghasts around? Riddle me this, boys. Like the green screen includes the mug. Yeah, that's something we've kind of... We've made into a bit of an on-stream joke here. I do really wish it was still possible to buy these mugs. I feel like I need to take out insurance on it or something. Is this a hub? Is this charcuterie? No, this is kind of part of a hub. It's just a tunnel. I mean, like, it's not... Nether hub kind of implies that there is a central location through which you do all of your nether transport, and I guess this is one of the tunnels leading off of the hub, but this is not the hub, if you get me. Do villagers care if there are multiple beds in one house? I mean, they probably like it better because more beds equals more comfort. Haven't had some good charcuterie in ages. Almost already forgot how ugly netherrack was in 1.13. And before. Let's not forget, that was the texture for 9 years of Minecraft. Where is it going? I mean, right now it's going back to the hub, but it's come from a new project that I'm working on where I'm starting a village in a border between a swamp and a jungle biome. Right now it's going as close to 0-0 as I can possibly get it, and then we'll figure out where the nether hub is from there. Am I going to make it into metro, ice transport? I don't know. I mean, ice transport seems like the most logical thing to do. But I don't have a huge amount of ice right now. Could farm it if I want to. I bought a little bit from a wandering trader. I got 6 packed ice, and then he locked his trade and wouldn't sell me anymore. I really feel like they should be able to trade more than that. Like, especially considering that you can... like, only trade with him potentially for, like, however many ticks it is, like, 48,000 game ticks. Okay, let me try this one. Katura Maswami, there we go. Nailed it, hopefully. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. Appreciate the support. Thank you. hope I said that. Something approaching okay. So excited for the spawn chunks tomorrow. Dude, me too. Joel Duggan has been away for, well, the weekend. He went there yesterday. There is a podcasting convention in Halifax, where he lives in Nova Scotia, Canada. And, yeah, he went to that the other day, so I'm excited to chat to him. It's probably not going to take up much of the actual conversation on the podcast. It'll probably, if anything, be like an extra bit of the post, pre or post show that we do for patrons. But, yeah, I'm just interested to hear if he learned anything new and fun that he has to share about the world of podcasting in general. First time seeing my face. Are you now a believer? It's a weird joke to make. How new is this world? I started it in Minecraft 1.13. Basically, the couple of days after 1.13 came out. With the mob spawn video, can you use that to grind for XP instead of just collecting drops? Yeah, all you need to do is set up an area below the area that they fall out of that collects the mobs in a place where they can't hit you, but you can hit them. And I guess you probably want to make that slightly less than 23 blocks high, because that's like the full distance that will kill a creeper or a skeleton or whatever. But yes, you can absolutely use that to farm XP if you just don't kill the mobs with the drop. Only reason mine doesn't farm XP is because it's set up to only receive drops. It's set up to kill the mobs when they land. I think that is about as far as we need to go. Like 14-ish on the positive Z-axis seems fine. So we will corner this off and start going that way. The reason I'm keeping this mostly square instead of going diagonally is in case we want to turn this into like a boat road at some point. Wandering Trader isn't very useful at all. Correct. It's fun to have, and I like the character. I like the design of him. I think he's quite colourful, and it's a really nice design. He kind of looks a bit like a South American Peruvian kind of looking guy with the llamas. It kind of helps with the llamas. It's like he's wearing a toque. Oh, 300 people here right now. Thank you guys so much. Gosh, this is amazing stream attendance. Thank you guys. I managed to make it sound like as sanitary as possible there. But no, seriously, thank you. It's always a pleasure to stream for an audience this size, and I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves today. Hope you got some snacks and a cup of tea and you're enjoying your weekend. What is one change I would make to 1.14? Let's see. I mean, there are a bunch. There are a bunch that the community has already suggested and pointed out that are kind of bad. I would make raids not global. Because I don't know if any of you guys follow Methods from the Psycraft server, but he made a video either today or a couple of days ago about how raid mechanics aren't really very well thought through, and he's very harsh in the video. And I kind of wish the discourse didn't have to resort to him just being like, these people have no idea what they're doing. But the points he makes are pretty legit in the raids. If a raid happens in a world, basically any other pillager within 48,000 blocks, if like the world is loaded in multiple places and there's a pillager somewhere else, they become part of that raid. And any mobs that would be affected by that raid, like witches, other villagers, stuff like that, end up being included in the raid. So if like a player on a multiplayer server is activating a raid somewhere, then it's affecting mobs miles and miles away from where that raid actually originated, because the raid thing is global. Players can only carry out one raid at a time, apparently, with the current system. And yeah, a lot of it just doesn't seem to have been thought through from a multiplayer perspective, and so I think that needs to be addressed. And hopefully that's something they're aware of. Hopefully it was just a case of they had to get the update out in the condition that it was, and then they'll work on that stuff for future updates. But right now it does seem a little bit broken. Method spelled with an underscore either side and two Zs, I believe. But if you want to find him, just go to Logical Geek Boy's channel. They do a series together called Dissecting Minecraft. And there will be a link to Method's channel in the description of Logical Geek Boy's videos. So if you're not quite sure how to spell Method's name, then you'll find it there. You had a raid where no one showed up. Man, I wish that had been my raid. Everyone showed up to my raid. That's why I lost. Does the chicken cooker work properly on 1.14? No, it's broken. Frilioth has a fix for it, though, so I recommend his videos. He's also just started a series with Avomance that's like a Minecraft tutorial series in survival. They're both playing on the same world, but making different videos. Seems like quite a promising series. You had a raid where a wave just instantly drowned before even showing up. That's what you want. That is like village defense right there. Get a moat, drown your enemies. I like that. There you go. Robert Skitch has it. Methods with 2 Zs. What are we doing today? What are we building? I'm currently building a tunnel back to my Nether hub from a project which is going to basically take up most of this week if it continues the way I expect it to. But, yeah, I need to get to and from this jungle/swamp area that is 8,000 blocks away from my current base. So I'm building a tunnel that stretches all the way back to my Nether hub. It felt like good work to do on the stream, and I can chat to you guys while I'm doing it, so... What's my go-to method to get XP now? Guardian Farm, I think. Now that I have Sweeping Edge on my sword, it's so much easier to repair my tools with a Guardian Farm. Previously, when I didn't have Sweeping Edge on it, it was a bit painful. Because you couldn't kill all of the Guardians in one go, and you took way more damage and armor durability and so forth if you were attacking each of them individually with that Thorns effect. It would be the Blaze Farm, but the Blaze Farm is kind of broken because Blazes all start to collectively aggro on you if you kill one of them. Or if you hit them, basically they become aggro and then they start flying and yeah. Current Blaze Farms are a bit of a pain, unfortunately. I didn't stream yesterday? No, I streamed Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. I have no new juice on me because, like, I went out here without preparations for Nether stuff. But I don't need it. I've got Lytra, I've got Fireworks. I'm good. My Lytra's in pretty good repair right now. Been getting some XP from it from mining quartz along the way. So we're good. I've already nearly fallen into lava once and I was fine, so don't worry about me. Okay, I'm now out of netherrack though, so back to the grind, I guess. What times do I stream? 3 PM UK time, which is whatever time it is in your time zone. I started about an hour and a half ago on today's stream, for reference. I imagine a lot of the netherrack that I cleared out of here will just be gone now. But that's fine. Can clear out some of these low ceiling areas. And watch as the lava starts to fall on me. I would have died at least 20 times by now. That one block on the cloud. Yeah, the Cobble Clicker map threw us a curveball occasionally, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing that. Yeah, there isn't really an area here to clear out, because I've done a 3x3, so... Let's just clear out some random areas of netherrack, I guess. Oh look, some lava. How quickly we found that! I don't need to worry about making this look natural either. It's the Nether. It all looks like this. What's the easiest automatic farm in my opinion? I don't know. Sugarcane farm's pretty easy. Observer and a couple of pistons. It all entirely depends on what you want as well, because there are some pretty easy farms. I mean, even that wool farm I put together the other day is very easy. Egg farm. Yeah, egg farm is pretty easy too. Your cat seems to love my voice. Every time I stream, she won't leave you alone until she's cuddling. Aw. Well, I'm glad I can facilitate those kinds of interactions, because people who don't like cats seem to think that cats aren't affectionate, and it totally depends on the cat, of course, but a lot of the time if you have affection on their terms, cats can be incredibly affectionate creatures. I know this having owned 2 cats for a while. They were, yeah, incredibly cuddly when they wanted to be. Do I use fire aspect on my sword? I do not. I don't think it's worth it. I think it's good if you want to cook animals instantly. Like if you want to chop a cow with fire aspect and get yourself some cooked steak, then that works. That's fine. Saves you the step of smelting. I understand that. But a lot of the time, speaking of being on fire, if I attack stuff with a fire aspect sword, it just ends up setting me on fire because I'm bad at PvE. And a lot of the time, the thing that is a deal breaker for me is that Enderman will just teleport around randomly. And so often when I have fire aspect on my sword, I just, yeah. I see Enderman teleporting everywhere, and they're unpredictable, and they end up dying from fire damage when they're blocks and blocks away from you, and you can't see if they drop an ender pearl or not, and it just makes Enderman farming inconvenient in general, so that's why I don't typically recommend fire aspect, but you do you. Can you put fire aspect on an axe? Make it a fire axe. I don't think you can. I believe it's an enchantment unique to swords. Give or take flame being the equivalent for bows, I guess. Fire on bows is good because you can use it to light TNT, and it's actually useful for a bunch of other things. And Endermen can't be shot by arrows anyway because they teleport too quickly, so... Hello, where are you? Oh, you're there. Good. Good. That's right, I kill a ghast with a sword. Bring it. The axe equivalent would be fire aspect. It would. You could get some very good weapon names out of that. Alright, where were we? Here, on this bridge. That's the answer to that. Knockback is also kind of a nuisance. Depends on the application. Knockback I can deal with. I don't have to have it. Same with punch on a bow. I don't have to have it, but I like occasionally getting a little bit of extra distance from creepers. And you can get knockback as like a secondary effect just by like sprinting at something and hitting it with a sword. Knockback 2 or whatever, like the enchantment, just carries them a little bit further, which isn't wholly necessary. Wholly necessary, Batman. Still at Y64. Good. Haven't made any weird elevation changes. Oh! Easy does it. Which bow enchantments work for the crossbow? Unbreaking, mending. That's it. You don't get flame, you don't get power, you don't get infinity. Crossbows are not bows, basically. What's the worst loss I've had in Minecraft deaths? Ah. You may want to refer to the hubris clip for that one. I was farming mob heads on a stream in a thunderstorm using a channeling trident. I accidentally attacked a creeper with the channeling trident in self-defense. It blew me up and all my items were destroyed. And that is like a tool set very similar to what I currently have on me. Full diamond enchanted armor, set of elytra, basically everything. Don't like the fact they made infinity and mending mutually exclusive. I don't like the fact that crossbows don't have infinity. I'm fine having infinity and mending be exclusive because I go through bow durability so slowly, relatively speaking. Like, I don't do combat all the time. So, yeah, keeping infinity on a bow to me makes more sense than having mending, because you can just repair a bow. They're very cheap. I feel like mending is only really a huge benefit if you're using it on diamond stuff. And even then, only if your diamond stuff just has really great enchants already. But as far as infinity versus mending goes on a bow, infinity every time. 100% explosion drop rate affects creepers too. It does not. Unfortunately not. TNT explosions are different, but creeper explosions remain the same. I know this because I've had a creeper blow on me, up on me a couple of times in the swamp, and I did not have enough dirt to fill the hole in afterwards. Senior Fluffy with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I appreciate the support, man. Thank you. Hey, Smitty, what's up? It's going well. Thank you for asking. Although I could use some slightly better bridging material, but hey. I thought I saw a ghast out of the corner of my eye. I think it was just that patch of glowstone, but we'll keep an eye out. 300 blocks to go. Netherrack was originally called Bloodstone. Are there mods that add in Bloodstone as a thing? Need to be able to change the color of the smoke for fireplaces. I really want colored lighting in this game. I saw somebody on the Minecraft subreddit this week posted a cyberpunk style build, kind of Blade Runner inspired, with like neon signs on the side of a building. And it was rendered in chunky, so there was some... Oh, what's it called? Some of that effect where glass panes actually, like, diffuse the color of light through them. When was Netherrack called Bloodstone? Probably, like, in the early alpha days when it was being developed. If it happened at all. You saw that post as well? Yeah, it was pretty built. It was just like a one-chunk kind of cyberpunk-inspired tower, which was pretty neat. Little tower block. Do I ever find myself having Minecraft dreams? Not really. I feel like the dreams I have are more related to, like, running my YouTube channel than they are to actually, like, playing Minecraft. I never have a dream where I'm, like, in the game for whatever reason. It's always about, like... It's about the content production side of things rather than, like, being in the world, you know? Beacons are kind of colored lighting. I mean, they don't... Yeah, they don't light up blocks around them with color. That's kind of more what I'm getting at. I mean, you can put a light source behind a colored glass pane and it looks like it's a light. There's like a blue light, but then when you look at the light that's cast by that on the other blocks around it, it's just like warm, yellowy, orange light. I'll catch the vague tweet today from Minecraft about the end not yielding enough resources. Really interesting. Funny considering that the most recent kind of biome they updated as far as resources like that go was the end. I mean, it doesn't have an ore, but it has, like, purple blocks, which may as well be crafted from ore. It's like a fruit that you cook and you make it into all of these different building blocks. Do all of my tools have either Silk Touch or Fortune? Most of them do. I have a couple of backup pickaxes and shovels and stuff that don't. Thoughts on a mining update? I mean, any kind of update would be good. As far as I can tell, as long as it's done right. I think caves could do with a little bit more love, because a lot of the time, Grian made this point when he came to talk to us about the general state of Minecraft on the Spawn Chunks podcast. He said most of Minecraft's endgame is just finding stuff that means you don't have to go caving, because caving is boring. So injecting a little bit of life into caving or mining in general would be fun. They just got to do it right. They've got to do it in a way that isn't just like, hey, let's put stalactites in caves. It's like, that's cool for about 5 minutes when you first see one, and then you see them everywhere and they don't really add very much to gameplay and you just don't care after that point. I think that's the thing about anybody requesting a caving update or a nether update, is that there's got to be more depth to it than just changing the way something looks. Because then everyone just gets used to the new look and then it becomes boring again. Yeah, I love caving. Am I boring? We know you're not boring, Tab, but you're not boring for other reasons. And people are allowed to like caving. It's fine, but it is a repetitive activity, and there are ways it could be made more interesting. Things like different types of tools. Like, if you want a reason for people to go caving, then you've got to make it a little bit more interesting. You've got to add some risk and reward to it that there isn't already present. Or you've got to provide caving experiences in places where there currently aren't caving experiences. And I feel like one of the only recent changes that's happened to caving has been the increase of gold ore spawning in mesas. Because now, like, there's actually a reason to go mining in mesas if you want gold specifically. And that changed a little bit about the game without making, you know, the resources imbalanced or adding new resources, which is everyone's favorite thing to suggest when it comes to how Minecraft should change. It's like, add emerald tools, add some extra types of ore that's even harder than diamond. It's like, great, that's... It's just going to mean everybody skips over diamond and ends up using that. Haste 2 potions would make caving hilarious. It would be nice. It'd be nice to get haste as an effect that didn't just have to be tied to a beacon, but then, once again, how do you balance that? You know, how do you make that? Whoa! Alright, you're in for it. Get wrecked. Sorry, that guy blows me off the bridge. He is going down. Bring your friends next time. I think haste 2 potions, you just have to make sure that stuff stays balanced, otherwise everyone's drinking them all the time, you know? That was close. Never close. They never stood a chance, not really. That's why you keep fireworks on your hotbar, folks. That's why you keep your elytra in good condition. Because you never know. You never know when that stuff is going to pop out at you. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit happier about the state of this bridge now. As long as I can mindlessly run across this whole thing to get back to the jungle. And we've got a bit more digging ahead of us, which is always lovely. Make an item for moving up and down ravines. I mean, you've got scaffolding now. It's just a little difficult to find in the early game. Scaffolding is great, though. I do kind of wish that you could take it down from the top as well as the bottom, but that's kind of not how scaffolding works. Need some sort of corresponding, like, rope item. Something that you can place from the top down and then, like, pull back into your inventory. Something like that would work. Drop a TNT from the top. Then it doesn't end up back in your inventory, does it? That's the whole point of scaffolding, is that you can collect it back up again very easily. I feel like that would be the whole point of rope. Reel it back in. Bigger light sources lighting up to 20 plus light level. I would like that. I think... Obviously, from a programming perspective, the main reason light goes from 0 to 15 is that's, like, the maximum value of a 4-bit integer is 16. Am I right? I think it's a 4-bit. Could be an 8-bit. I don't know. I don't know how binary works. But, yeah, like, realistically speaking, they could code it differently. And I think the improvements they've made, or the changes, at least they've made, I don't know if it can be argued yet that they are improvements to the rendering engine, have been made so that they can leave avenues for them to do stuff like that in future. Kind of like how the flattening allowed them to add more block IDs and stuff like that. I'm kind of hoping that the new rendering engine just leaves room for expansion in a big way. Baroque, just want to say thanks for the survival guide. It's been a huge help. Hey, no problem. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I hope it is going to continue to be helpful to you. Hopefully you'll enjoy this week's episodes. We're going to be working a little bit on that stuff today, so prepare thyself for spoilers. Do I have Silk Touch on this? I do. Good. Okay, I can harvest gravel without getting any of the hated flint. Although, hey, we have a reason to build stuff with flint now because we get fletching tables, I guess. I don't want to run across all this soul sand anyway, so let's keep it netherracky. What was the last episode about? Friday's episode was about making one of the new auto-shearing wool farms, which was a lot of fun. And tomorrow's episode is about wandering traders. All that flint hate. I mean, put something useless in the game, I'm going to hate it. No, flint has its uses. They're just not uses that I find necessary at all. Excuse you? They're not things that I find necessary to make after, like, day 2 of a new world. I so rarely craft arrows. I can understand it being necessary for, like, UHC and maybe some other PvP stuff, but I don't do that stuff typically, so for my money, flint is pretty useless. But then flint is now tradable as well, so I guess I can't really make much of that argument anymore. Yeah, we're going to have to deal something about this, but... Oh, hey, look, there's our nether hub. We're coming in on a bit of a weird angle. You! Stop that! Alright, eye for an eye, I guess. Has anyone made the flint coal reference yet? That lad Ray played Minecraft recently, after his stream donated him a lot of money. We're going to have to deal with this. Hey, we got another raid coming in, folks. The double raid stream is real. Gibbet Gaming coming through with a party of 6. Welcome along, raiders. Let's see some hype in the chat, please. Hello, hello. Hello, raiders. Welcome along. How was your stream, Gibbet? Hope it was good. What were you guys up to today? Oh, right, I'll get those two as well. Can't be doing with all this lava in my nether, guys. Who needs it? Been struggling with buggy villages on 1.14. Oh, don't say that. I'm starting my own village in this stream. Or, well, not starting it as such, but at least curing a couple of zombie villages if I can find them. But, yeah, I expect everyone's coming to terms with the new changes and probably finding a fair few bugs, aren't they? Is lava renewable? It is not. Although there is enough of it in the nether that you don't really need to worry about it being renewable or not. You're always going to find more. Hey-oh. Careful, careful. Griefers need all the lava. I mean, they do. They do that. I tell you what, let's just break that. I'll probably forget about all of that anyway. There, can barely see it. Doesn't look unnatural at all. I figured out what causes farmer villagers to actually farm crops now. I have not really gotten that far. Samurai. I love doing that. I love flying through ghasts. Being like, you're already dead. Wasn't lava renewable in early versions like water is? I mean, probably. The fluid physics were all over the place back in the day. Lava was just hot water. That's how it worked, right? But yeah, no, I don't know how 1.14 villagers can be made to farm crops. I'm pretty sure they still can, like it's still a behavior that exists. But I don't know how to encourage them to do it. This one is actually coming from this little netherrack island here, apparently. Yeah. I thought that was coming down from the ceiling. Nice. What is that? Is that some black concrete? Has that come from my nether hub? I think I put that there on a stream ages ago. I was like, look, this looks really good as like blocks of ash around the outside of a... Oh, no, that's what we were doing. I was trying to prove that lava would convert concrete powder into regular concrete, and it didn't. And I was surprised because I thought it had. But I think that might have been modded concrete. Two of you? Are you serious? Or is it just one making the noise of the two of them? Anyway. Hear that farmer villagers are still kind of buggy? Yeah, fair enough. I don't know if the mechanic is as reliable, but hopefully they'll be able to fix that if there is a problem with it, because it's a useful mechanic. Oh, really? It's like that, is it? Alright, alright, alright. Set me on fire, will you? That's right. Really making you want to redo your nether hub. Yeah, don't follow my design. Build a prismarine circle and do nothing with it for 3 months. Okay. So we're back. Here we are. Oh! Nice to see you. You made it, did you? Alright, I'll be dealing with him later. Coming through here threatening to burn my castle down. You like the prismarine bricks? They remind you of Super Mario Brothers crown blocks. Is that a good thing? Might have some bad memories of those blocks. Also, what time is it? I have no idea what time it is. Curse this rain. Do I think Mojang will fix the bug where you can stack unstackable items using the villager trading interface? I mean, probably. That doesn't sound intentional. Will they fix it soon? I have no idea. They've probably got a lot on their plate right now. Okay. Thank you for loading in the rest of the building. Gosh. Throw that in there. Throw these in here. Oh, I need to remake my nether chest. Nether chest. Ender chest. You know the one. You know what I was talking about, even if I didn't. This guy. Because I broke that by accident. Ended up taking the fortune pickaxe to it instead of the other thing. Put this concrete powder away. In the actual concrete powder chest. Good idea. And let's throw the rest of this junk in here for the moment. Get some quartz up in this thing. Schwa. Try to have a lot of ender chests in your ender chest. I do as well, but unfortunately I did not have one left over. I've got like 7 of them in there, but I didn't have any access to that where I was because I broke the one that I had. Alright. Alright. Now, we need to get some name tags and make our way back to the jungle. But we have a path now, and we also have 300 viewers. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't know if new iron farms work in the Bedrock Edition. Apparently they don't, because the Bedrock Edition mechanics don't include the gossip system that Java has, meaning basically you can recreate the iron farm designs that you have in 1.13 and just use beds instead of doors, and that's apparently how it works. From what I understand. I have a very limited knowledge of Bedrock in general, but that's what I've heard from people in my communities. Folks in the Spawn Chunks Discord server have said as much, and I believe them, because they play Bedrock more than I do. Is the new sheep farm effective? I mean, it farms the wool. Depends what you mean by effective. Does it have, like, fast, high output? No, probably not. But it's basically there to just shear the sheep forever. And that's what it's going to be good at. From my videos, my face isn't what you pictured. Considering that my Minecraft avatar and all of my channel, like, profile picture and stuff is based on my own appearance, I'm kind of surprised. But then, you know, they're all artistic representations of my own face, I suppose. Faces are a different thing. Faces are more complex than the average drawing is going to give them. Oh, an anonymous gift sub for Whip. Enjoy your emotes, buddy. Welcome to the Pixels. Great to have you on board. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for the very generous gifted sub. And the Stingin is here. And not even the Stingin anymore, just Stingin. Just Stingin like he always did. Welcome along, my friend. How are you? How's that partner life? I guess I can put these golden powers... No, I was going to say pants and trousers, and I said powsers. Wow, okay. Speak much. Hush. My wife has got wind of my new words. She doesn't just have wind. That'd be a weird thing to say. I need to make another shield while I'm at it, because this one is getting a little bit weak. And now I've got plenty of wool being farmed. I might as well. Did I dye the sheep that was supposed to be grey? I did, yes. It is now giving me light grey wool. The chickens make a terrible noise. They do. They also make a terrible amount of lag. Because there's A, a lot of entities there, and B, the redstone is pretty laggy after the update. But again, that's some stuff that will hopefully be optimized. Really need to look into how the villager trades work. Yeah, that's something I'm going to be experimenting with this week, actually. Going to be doing some of that myself. So stick around for this week's Minecraft Survival Guide videos, and I expect you'll be able to see some of that stuff in action. Okay, one White Skull Charge banner. Put the pattern back in there. Build a shield. I don't have any iron on me, but I will grab some of that. And then we'll chuck it in the ender chest for later. Put it in the backup gear in case we need it. But yeah, now that the Wither Skull pattern is so easily reproducible, like you could just clone the banner previously anyway, but now it's possible to make it into a banner pattern that you can apply anytime to anything. I don't really see the need in putting Unbreaking and Mending on a shield. Like, it's a cheap recipe. There's no need for overcomplicating things with additional enchantments. Especially when you can't directly enchant it in the table, you know? There we go. Throw that in there. Anything else we need to do while we're here? I don't think so. Let's pop that in there. We've got the ender chest back. I've got plenty of fireworks back at the ranch. I've got a little rudimentary sugarcane farm set up. I think we're just going to head back and try and farm ourselves another zombie villager. Gonna stick to what the title is. Now with all the patterns, the shield is even cheaper. Yes, correct. Oh, it is daytime. Lovely. It'll probably be nighttime by the time we get back to the farm. Not the farm, the camp, I guess you could call it. The jungle camp. If it's mending, it won't break in the middle of a fight. Yeah, but then it takes longer to mend other stuff. The other stuff is more important to me than the shield. Basically, I think mending is only really useful on stuff that's made out of diamond, and I guess elytra. The other thing I meant to do is repair my bow. I just looked at it and was like, yeah, we could probably top that up, couldn't we? Swoosh! Question is, where is my nearest anvil? I don't think I have one in the blacksmith. So that's probably over here again. When logging in the first time in a Minecraft world, your first enchantment is always the same in each case, but it's different in different versions of Minecraft. Interesting. I have never heard that before. Very interesting if that's true. Now, question is, does that heal it all the way? It does not. Let's actually get a fully repaired bow. Of course, I've only got 2 string in here. Do I have any bows anywhere? I don't think so. They wouldn't be in any of these. No. Doesn't look like it. The way of farming a light blue dye when your nearest swamp is miles from you. Farm cornflowers and bone meal. Or cornflowers and lily of the valley. And combine the 2 of those. If you're in 1.14, that's all you need now. It's flowers. Hello, Fev. You're trying to get enough iron for a beacon. I am working on a new village project. I guess I could combine some of these as well, couldn't I? Oh, apparently I can't now, because grindstones exist and are a thing. A thing that I don't have here. Let's remedy that. Still haven't got used to the grindstone being a thing. I'm fine with it being a thing, I just haven't got used to it. There we go. At some point, I should probably go through some of my enchanted books and disenchant them. The ones that I don't need, because you can get a little bit of XP back from that, and it's kind of a useful thing to have. Thank you for the host, Fev. Should have gone with light blue. Build a flower farm in a swamp and boom profit. Yeah. The legacy of Bo continues. And I'm not going to sleep here. Because I want my spawn set over at the jungle camp. You only get a little bit of XP. I know, but it's better than nothing, and I don't need those Bane of Arthropods books anyway. Well, I still haven't done an episode about how you can put all of the different types of protection on your armor now, but we'll get to that another time. And yeah, you get to keep the books, so you get to turn that book back into another enchanting book if you want. You can, Oh! I told you we'd see that guy again. Not going to see the XP and the blaze rod until we go and see him a third time, though, so... The thrice encountered blaze. No, we're going to do a disenchanting session with those books, get the books back, re-enchant them with some nicer things. As long as you've got a few levels to burn on the re-enchanting, you can just rinse and repeat that as much as you want. Don't need blazes today, thank you. Is the amount of spawners in mesa biomes increased? Only if you got a mine shaft, because that's where you get cave spider spawners. Oh, I didn't fill this bit in at all. Well, no worries, I'm flying anyway. Most important thing is we have a path here. Oh, do you see that corner? That was a good corner. Builds path, flies all the way there. Whoop. Man, I really didn't finish a lot of this, did I? And the ghast is just going to blow it to pieces anyway. Now die! Nope, completely missed. It's actually quite a distance away. No worries. This is called a flight path. It's a veritable roller coaster.
We should get Tetris. I got second again.
Oh, nice. Mrs. Riff's Tetris 99 continues apace.
How's it going?
It's going well.
317 viewers.
Yeah, it's a nice weekend stream.
That's a good number, too.
Stone Cold 317. Yep, spawning in the terrain would be lovely, thank you. I would appreciate this greatly. Set my spawn here. Lovely. So, welcome back to the jungle camp where we have this guy and his lovely green hat. See you in a minute. And we have the potential to spawn ourselves a jungle villager, which is what I really want. But, of course, because I've just skipped the night, we're going to have to wait for that to happen, but it's fine. I can reorient myself around here. I can throw this egg. Chat says hi.
Hello. I am here.
You are.
Stop looking at my eyes. Like you close your eyes and you see Tetris, you know? You see the Tetriminos.
I started to have Tetris dreams.
Yeah, you get a little bit blocked in.
Blocked in. That's the official term the doctor would use. Mr. Riffs, you are blocked in. No, I'm not.
Yeah, I got second. I didn't even realize I was at that point. I thought it was still a little bit further away. But then I was like, oh. 13th is really good. When there's that many people playing, that's
yeah, 13th is pretty respectable.
It's very solid.
If you can make it into the top 20, then that's good. I've still never won a game. I think I got second maybe like once.
I've got it a few times, but if not, it's few and far between. I haven't got it like regularly. It's not like I'm like, yeah, it's tricky.
With our current setup, adding Mrs. Rifts into my current YouTube videos, like as a player, is more complicated than you might think. Because my computer is wired into the network, because a wired connection is always going to be more reliable. But the rest of our devices that could play Minecraft are wireless, and that counts as 2 separate networks, so she couldn't join the world, like the LAN, from a laptop computer, because it counts as 2 different networks. So I'd actually have to set up another computer that could have a wired connection, and that's kind of tricky right now. I mean, we could set up a server as well, but then there's all kinds of excuses we can make. If I play on a desktop or a laptop, this is a desktop. I have a MacBook Pro, like a 2017 MacBook Pro that can run Minecraft as well, but it's rare that happens because the desktop is better.
Why are you still getting Nether music?
The music is playing on a media player on my desktop. It's not like coming out of the game, which is why I've been playing the entire Minecraft soundtrack and not just the tracks that are relevant to a specific area. We have a visitor. Welcome to the jungle camp. Stop scaring my villagers.
I'm not dead. I got better.
They're just paying respects, just like normally.
Like but when you pay respects, it's always, you think of it as being like, oh
yeah,
no,
I entirely agree. But
I get the joke.
I just like the idea that you can pay respects in like a non-death way.
I appreciate the respect then.
Yeah. Paying respects in an Aretha Franklin kind of way.
Yeah, yeah, that works. I'm fine with that.
William Master 2K, love watching you play. Been learning a lot for your own games. Thanks for the fun. Hey, no problem. Thank you for stopping by the stream today. Hope you're having a lovely weekend. Why don't I use the music in the game? Mainly for editing reasons, actually. Because if you play the music in the game and say I'm doing like multiple takes of something, you'll probably notice occasionally that I make cuts in my videos. And it's usually because I haven't explained something particularly well the first time, and I want to like do a retake so that I can explain things more articulately. Or I think of like a better way of explaining something. But if the music was playing in the background during that time, then it would like skip ahead in the music, and it would feel kind of weird, like you wouldn't hear the full piece from start to finish. And so if I do enable in-game music, it'd just come out kind of weird. So I think it's a better approach to take to edit in the music afterwards if you want to, or in the cases of streams, keep music disabled but play it in the background. Also, when you're in the overworld, especially in Minecraft, it plays 4 songs and it plays them very sparsely. So you get really sick of the music if it's just those 4 tracks, and it only ever plays them like every 5 minutes or so, and they're all quite short. So you don't really get the variety of music that's actually present in the Minecraft soundtrack, and it's always kind of fun to hear some of the other stuff. There are some really great tunes in the Minecraft soundtrack that you just only hear in creative mode, which is kind of sad because I don't really play creative mode all that much. So I just put the Minecraft soundtrack on while I stream, and it saves all of the disappointment of not hearing more of it. Favorite Minecraft jukebox song and Minecraft non-jukebox song. My favorite music disc is probably Cat. My favorite non-music disc is Haunt Muskie.
Haunt Muskie.
Which I recently learned is an anagram of Hatsune Miku. Where did I get the soundtrack? Bandcamp. C418 has a Bandcamp page, and you can just I think if you pay like more than a couple of dollars, I think it's a name your price model, the way Bandcamp likes to do. So yeah, you can buy it all there. I also own Minecraft Volume Alpha on vinyl, but they don't do a vinyl version of Volume Beta, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because I would absolutely buy it. I've got the volume alpha cover in a frame now that I want to put up on the wall, but I'm probably going to be moving from this room into the next door room at some point, so I haven't decorated anything yet. Does quartz not break without silk touch? What? Like the quartz blocks, you mean, or quartz items? Bandcamp is great, Brian Glory. I've actually published some stuff on Bandcamp before. That Mumbo Jumbo remix I did a while back is on Bandcamp. What? What cat? What cat?
You know the dusky light orange kitty?
Oh, that one is back?
Yeah, it's in the neighbor's yard. It's coming along the back.
Oh.
The back fence of the neighbor's yard.
Cat watching. Cat watching in the 21st century. Minecart rolls. Yeah, they do that. Has there been a fox update? Check my Instagram for that. I haven't seen any foxes today. There have been like 4 or 5 photos on there now. But today there was a squirrel and a magpie, both of which I took pictures of just because I like the fact that I now have a decent camera to take pictures.
You really need to trim the other hedge.
Mitchell, glad to hear you're back in the Minecraft game. If it's been years, then you've got a lot of stuff to catch up on, luckily, so hope you're having a good time with it. I'm just waiting for the sun to go down right now, so sorry if it seems like I'm idling and not doing very much. Flattening out this terrain is going to be helpful. And stuff will still spawn if there is long grass and ferns and everything, so I'm not that worried about the spawnage. But I think maybe clearing out some of it might help just for visibility and for being able to attack baby zombies if we need to. You knew everything when you left and it seems like nothing now. A lot of that foundational stuff is still going to be helpful. As long as you know what a crafting table is, you're good. But yeah, welcome to the joy of having a recipe book in the game now. So anything you're not sure about, you can just look it up in-game without having to go to the wiki. That's a revolutionary thing in my opinion. Well, we're going to have a lot of wheat seeds, I guess. Can put them in a composter. I don't know, tame a parrot while I wait. There's actually a jungle temple out there in this jungle that I can probably go and raid soon. We could do that on camera, because I've done it on a video before, but we can do that here on the stream if you like. Clearing out all the grass. I have 32 wheat seeds now, 34. Don't really need those for anything, but yeah, sometimes you get attacked by baby zombies and you go to swing your sword and then you just break the grass and you don't actually get to hit the zombie, so I try and clear some of this stuff out to make it easier to fight them. Tall grass is the worst for that, because tall grass protects 2 block high mobs as well. Oh, just broke my potato farm. Broke 1 potato in the farm. Oh, Chuck Wendig has foxes as well. That's cool.
And he's been like consider like every day. It's like here's more video and pictures of the foxes. There's like
sounds like me.
There's some babies. There's, like,
Oh yeah.
There's like 4 babies.
If I had had this camera this time last year, we'd have probably done something similar. Got a couple of videos of them running around and stuff. Yeah. In fact, my Instagram has like a whole like archived story blob of the backyard foxes where there's just like tons of videos that were just taken on a phone, so they're not as good quality and they don't look as kind of close up as the pictures I've been taking recently, but they're there. They're around.
Why do you say potato like potato, but you don't say tomato like tomato?
I don't know. Just was told that's how to say each word.
No, I'm just curious about it, because there's that one thing where it's like you say tomato and I say tomato, the song, and they're like potato, potato. I'm like, no one says potato though.
Mm. No, exactly. That's kind of the joke in the song.
Is that the joke?
Yeah. And maybe people used to say potato before like the Great Vowel Shift happened or something, but
Maybe,
yeah, I think it's probably just a weird idiosyncrasy of English.
Because it's like, oh, these are spelled the same, but they're pronounced different vowel. One has a vowel, one has a short vowel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one of those weird language things.
Yeah. I will discuss weird pronunciation idiosyncrasies and how that relates to etymology for hours.
Mm-hmm.
If this one doesn't stop me, I'll be like, okay, next topic. So you seem to enjoy it, but
Yeah, it's entertaining.
yeah.
All right, let's spawn some guys. In fact, right now, yeah, we need to probably log out and log back in because we're falling victim to that thing where all of the hostile mobs get stuck in the spawn chunks. As you can see, now hostile spawning around here. There was some stuff there for a second, and that seems to have just disappeared, so unless that was just weird rendering bugs. Anyway, I'm breaking grass just because it's easier to fight baby zombies without tall grass being there. Right, welcome back. There's a skeleton immediately. Very good.
How's it going?
Very fine. It's going alright so far.
You're accomplishing your goals.
I mean, yes, to a degree.
I don't know what your goals are, so.
My goals are right now to find a zombie villager who has spawned in the jungle biome so we can take a look at his outfit.
Oh.
And considering that I'd spent probably a couple of hours before the stream flying around and not finding a zombie villager at all, we found one pretty quickly as soon as the stream started. So I'm confident that we will find another in time. They're actually quite tricky to spot now for some reason. Like, they don't look quite as... They don't stand out quite as much in the new textures than they used to. I think the outfits kind of camouflage them a little bit. They're not quite as obvious. Especially since, like, a cleric used to have a bright purple coat. And now some clerics do, other clerics don't. What's Mrs. Riffs' villager profession? Is she a YouTuber / streamer too? If you're talking villager profession, she's probably a librarian. Occasionally a cartographer, but only if we're in the car on long journeys and you're like poking at the map going, this place has a weird name.
Well, no, that's a cartographer is someone who makes maps.
Yeah, true.
I haven't made a map before. I enjoy observing and reading and
yeah, you're like,
and navigating with maps.
This is a place called Barton in the Beans.
Yeah.
Did someone called Tubbo host me? Yes, Tubbo did host me. He dropped a raid on us a little while ago. I was watching him before. He's a nice kid. Yeah, he's a good dude. I raided him a little while ago with about 200 people, and ow. Explosive farts just happened, apparently. Yeah, the raid from Tubbo was kind of a got you back kind of situation today, which was fun. She ever had to navigate me to Loughborough? No, I don't think so. Don't think we have much reason to go to Loughborough. But, yeah, I always imagine it being called Lowbrow. Look at these guys with their identical shoes. Their high-waisted trousers. Do I watch Dave Gorman? Depends what Dave Gorman. I've seen a couple of his shows, but I don't watch any of like the recent TV stuff he's done. I saw a little bit of Genius. And Dave Gorman's Important Astrology Experiment was also very good, but that was ages ago. That was back when he had like just the sideburns and the kind of goatee situation.
Oh, the roads are Loughborough all one way? Oof. That's always tricky. Wait, hold on. Do not like literally, because if they're all out, then it's like one way, then it's like, yeah.
They all lead away from Loughborough.
Yeah,
like how
wants to leave Loughborough, like with Peacehaven.
Yeah, like how all roads lead to Rome, except yeah.
It's the reverse.
Yeah.
But also if they do have a one-way system the way Central Brighton does, that's always a pain.
He also did the lowbrow joke. Ah, I see. Right. I mean, it's a logical pronunciation based on the other words that exist in English, but never really considered the English language blessed with an abundance of logic.
No. So I am good at navigating around one-way systems.
You are. You're good. You're good at navigating in general.
Also, because the biggest city that I grew up around was San Francisco, which has an extensive one-way system.
It's true.
So I'm just kind of like, no, you just have to work with it.
Are you late? As in the late Dent Arthur Dent. You arrive precisely when you mean to. Alright folks, I'm going to need you to wish a zombie villager into existence right about now. Using whatever means necessary. Let's get some zombie villager hype going in the chat, and maybe the game will bless us with a zombert. Zomberto. I also realised I forgot to bring a name tag with me, which was the other thing I meant to come back to the farmhouse for. So I could go and get one of those if I need to. But, we've got the curing supplies here, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. As people doing zombie villager dances in the chat, the summoning has begun. Draw the summoning circle. No idea how I didn't take full damage there. Apparently my elytra kicked in a little bit late. Maybe there was a friendly vine. Although we're supposed to call them TikToks now. With the power of anime. Is there an anime about being a zombie villager? There should be. There's an anime about a guy who's resurrected as a slime or something, right? Ginger Lily with 110 bits. Thank you for the bonus bits. I assume those are for the resurrection. A sacrifice has been made. Bring us the zombie villager. Let's fly up into the air real quick just before the dawn breaks and see if we can spawn in a zombie villager somewhere around here. What are you? You're a skeleton, aren't you? I bet you are.
I know nothing about no skeleton.
He is not Judge Judy and Executioner. Why does dawn break? I'm not entirely sure.
It's because night's been falling all night, and then it lands.
It lands.
and then the dawn comes out. I don't know.
As long as dawn cleans up after itself. Does anyone know a small community survival server with 10 or 20 people just hanging around in vanilla survival? Probably not a public server. There are many servers out there that you could join, but they tend to be private communities if they are that small a number of people. Like my patron server as an example, we have an active player base of probably around 20, but then a theoretical player base of many more. Just people don't always have the time. You'll occasionally find some folks on streams playing with viewers and stuff though, so if you're looking for a community to join, then looking around on Twitch probably isn't too bad an idea. You're now hearing about a zombie villager. We have cured one zombie villager already on this stream. He is in here. Put our ear up to this. Yep, there he is. And we will try our best to find another one. But I want to get one from the jungle and one from the swamp. I already have the swamp guy, so jungle villager is the next item on the menu, I guess.
You gonna eat him?
Hmm?
He's on the menu. You're gonna eat him?
Hopefully not. Right. I'm going to go and find that jungle temple, because there should be one out here somewhere. We'll have to forgive the occasional chunk loading issues. Like that tree not really being there. I'm pretty sure it was to the north and slightly east. The game is having a pretty hard time actually loading the ground in at present.
Doing its best. Do people ever make like fun country house
Oh, yeah.
like, networks that go through all the jungle.
Treehouse is probably the most popular, like, type of build in jungle biomes.
Makes sense.
It's what a lot of people want to see me do with the jungle village thing, but I want it to be on the edge of that swamp, and there's like a jungle edge biome around it, which is relatively flat and doesn't have all of these trees. I could grow some trees, but yeah, this look at this. It's looking like Rich Diawadi's hair in the IT crowd with this like bit carved out of it. Yeah, some of the terrain around here is having a difficult time. Like, what is all of this? This jungle made out of weird spaceships. Does the curing process work with enchanted golden apples? It probably does, but I've never had enough enchanted golden apples to really test it. Nice Hermitcraft recap this week. Oh, is it out? Good. I have no bearing on when it actually gets released. That's all Zloy, because he does the edits, so I didn't even know it was out. But I'm glad it is, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Is that just a regular tree? That just looks like a regular tree as part of a river biome. I can't quite tell if that's mossy cobblestone or not. Don't look grey enough. Whoa! Alright. Elytra just not going to activate then? Fair enough. I guess I am loading stuff in right now, but... Really? Look at these jungle hills, though. These look nice.
That's cool.
Kind of nice to have, like, this overhang terrain. This is what everybody talks about when they're like, oh, alpha terrain was so much better than the terrain is now. It's just like, it still generates. It's just, like, in other biomes like this. Forest hills, especially. Like, if you look for a wooded hills biome, you'll find stuff like that.
There's many different biomes now.
There are.
Than when I played it last.
Yeah, when we played it last together was... oh, there it is. Found it. It was on Xbox, so we must have played around, like... 2014, so that would have been like the equivalent of Minecraft 1.3. They just added stuff like hunger and sprinting and villagers.
Yeah.
Like trading was only just established at that point. Horses weren't even in the game.
No.
Or the wither. The wither wasn't in the game until much later.
No, I've never. You can ride on the horses, right? Because there's like saddles. And
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never ridden on a horse. I mean, in real life I have, but not in the game.
I've never ridden on a horse in real life. So we are the opposite. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. There we go. Oh good, some gold. 3 gold ingots and a lot of rotten flesh. Wonderful. The real treasure, of course, is the sticky pistons. For a while, this was the only way that you could get sticky pistons if you were playing in peaceful mode. Which is kind of funny. I don't have any shears on me, so... Yoink. I'll take the arrows too. And... Yoink. Very good. 2 bamboo! Wonderful. I know it says 23 bamboo, but that's because I had some already. We had 2 bamboo and some rotten flesh, 3 gold. Brilliant. 10 out of 10. Would raid again. How else do you get sticky pistons in peaceful? Because you can't get slimes. The only other way you can do it is to now have sneezing baby pandas. I think. Those are the only way you can get slime. And wandering traders do them now. They'll sell them. Wandering traders now basically sell all of the stuff that you can't get in peaceful mode. Give or take, like, bones.
Ooh.
There's some zombies down there.
In a squig.
A Stephen Merchant villager. And I don't know where I am now. I think I've gone too far. There we go. There's the jungle camp. I can see my campfire, but not the camp itself. Great. You can see that villager slowly loading in. My nether portal was briefly decapitated. And normal service has resumed. Shepherd Tamer, hello, welcome along. Forgot how much you missed this voice. Missed these pipes of steel. Nobody calls them that.
You're a dork.
I think it's probably time for a break and another cup of tea. What say you, chat? Do you play without headphones? Yeah, I don't play without headphones all the time, but when I'm streaming I do, because wearing headphones for long periods of time is too warm. It's uncomfortable. I have big chunky headphones. These are my headphones. So, they're a bit big. Right, we're going to take a very short break here atop this lovely edifice. And I'm going to pause the game because I don't want it to get dark and have skeletons attack me.
Hey, it's an arm.
Yes, that is your arm.
I am here.
I am here.
This is why I'm
coming through the door like a hero.
I'm standing like next to you, but the cropping on things is quite tight.
Gonna farm bamboo? We could, but the only thing you can make with it is scaffolding, and I have a lot of scaffolding already. So yeah, I'm gonna be back in a minute. I'm just gonna go grab myself another cup of tea. Be right back. Hello. We're back. Welcome along. We've lost like 50 people. You guys who stuck around, you're the real OGs. Speaking of which, Scully Wally with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. Bear with me while I eat some grapes. I need a snack. People say streaming is just sitting down in a chair. But boy, it makes me hungry. The chair has raided me. It has. Handing control back. Can I show you what a curly whirly looks like? Google can show you. I don't have a curly whirly on me right now. The dad jokes. The dad jokes are real. Be with you in a minute, folks. Just enjoying these. That joke only works in Fahrenheit. It does, unless you're talking about boiling a child. Which I don't recommend. Why are you watching Homes Under the Hammer? Good question. Making real cake there right now. Ah. Unlike that lie cake I hear about. Carrying a curly whirly at all times seems like something that is probably quite sensible to do. It's true. What kind of real cake? There are many, many cakes. Some more real than others. While I was away, you were watching me on YouTube. Well, there you go. That may be where everybody's gone. People might have gone to watch the Hermitcraft recap while we were on break. As long as they come back afterwards, as long as I've not scared them off with the Hermitcraft shenanigans. You lost your first tooth in a curly whirly. I can't remember how I lost my first tooth. Probably in a similar incident, though. At least Beethoven didn't try and raid the stream this time. A bow! A not very good bow. We may as well farm some bamboo while we're here, I guess. Sure, go for it. Grow, my pretties. My tiny Christmas trees. If nothing else, this eliminates some spawnable space from the swamp area where mobs could spawn. Probably just light it up, couldn't I, really? Let's be realistic here. And of course, this torch grid is nothing but the most efficient use of torches you'll ever see in all your days. Such efficiency. 2 torches next to each other. So efficient. Bamboo is a premium lag source. Yeah, it ain't too bad. If you're breaking large quantities of it, then sure. But I think just growing a little bit around here is not about to blue screen my PC. Famous last words. If the stream goes down, blame the bamboo. Banger alert. Welcome to the music disc portion of the stream. Alright. We have reached real zombie villager hours. It's time to party. Get rid of them. Build scaffing up to build height, break it at the bottom and see what happens. We'll try that. Time to party like it's $14.99. That is the price of Minecraft, or it was at one point. I think it's more than that now. Make a super flat out of TNT and place a redstone block. Give the redstone block to a fox. I liked that mock-up in the snapshots of somebody gave a redstone block to a fox. I think originally they gave the TNT to the fox and put it in a world full of redstone blocks, and then they did the opposite and just took a screenshot of it and was like, this is how you cause chaos. Or an Enderman. Yeah, that's true. Then again, foxes will pick up anything as long as it's a dropped item, whereas Endermen have to be spawned, I guess, using a certain command to make sure they're carrying a specific block. What's the moon doing? Okay. Almost full. Which is probably why there are slime. Bamboo is funny because it won't do anything until it grows up. Like, you can walk through it until it grows more than one block up, and then it's like, nope, can't do anything anymore. You can't, like, stand on bamboo as it grows, can you? Just have it be like, hup. Push you up into the sky at random intervals. Don't want to be in the swamp anyway, we want to be over here. The foxes in my backyard mostly just screech. Which is kind of what they say, I guess. They mostly make very distressed sounding noises. But they make these noises regardless of the occasion. So as far as I can tell, they're not actually in any kind of peril. Why does everyone apologise for coming in late? Get here when you want to. It's not a problem. I wasn't waiting for you or anything. They sound like they do in Minecraft. No, they sound much, much worse. Imagine, like, a dog's squeaky toy being put through a mangle. And that's more or less what foxes sound like. Hey, Rob, what's up? Welcome to the nighttime jungle show. Jungle Nights with me, Pixel Riffs. Hey. Yes, Fev, that's pretty accurate, actually. Accurate rendering of fox noise in the chat right now. Well, none of you are the zombies I want. Moving on. These aren't the zombies you're looking for. They can go about their business. Paranoids. Either one step ahead of me or one step behind. Depending on how far the stream is lagging. Foxes sometimes sound like someone's being murdered according to scenes you've seen on TV. Yeah, no. It's entirely true. It's like somebody playing one bagpipe. You know how bagpipes, there's like several pipes coming off of the bag? A fox is just like one bagpipe playing the song of its people. Scottish foxes must be a nightmare. Happy belated May the 4th. Indeed. Indeed. Why are we looking for zombie villages? I mainly wanted to create a village from scratch, right? But I thought the funnest way to do that would be to do it in either a jungle or a swamp to show off the two costumes that don't appear as part of natural like world generation. And so yeah, the whole idea was to find a space where a swamp and a jungle shared a border. And I took a poll on my YouTube channel and on Twitter the other day saying jungle village or swamp village, and everyone said jungle village, but then I think it was like a 75-25 split on YouTube and a 60-40 on Twitter, but then a lot of people also commented to say that they wanted to see a swamp village because a lot of other people are doing a jungle village. And personally, I thought swamp village would be kind of fun to do anyway, so I decided to just find both biomes. And so this week's Minecraft Survival Guide videos are going to be all about starting a village from scratch, working with the new villager mechanics, and also showcasing the costumes for all of the villagers from both the swamp and jungle biomes, because you don't get to see them otherwise. That's basically it. I also want to see what happens if you breed villagers from different biomes, if, like, it takes the breeding villagers' costumes into account, which I don't think it does. I think it just breeds them based on whatever biome they are in when they are bred. But we'll find out, I guess. So yeah, it's going to be Village Week, basically. Starting with tomorrow's episode, which has already been recorded and uploaded and is about wandering traders. That is a witch. We cannot cure her. She turned me into a newt. I do like the fact that witches have fire resistance potions, so you can't actually burn them. Hey look, a spider jockey. I would find this more remarkable were it not for the fact that I've seen about 5 or 6 of them on these, like, zombie villager hunts. Drop a church on her. I thought it was a farmhouse. Hey, Dr. Sommer, what's up? Welcome along. Oh, that was a cow. I thought I saw like a peak of villager costume from behind that tree. Sadly, 'twas a cow. It'd be so fun if they really could turn you into newt for 10 seconds or so. It would be. It would be pretty funny. When you don't have a shield, I hate spider jockeys. Yeah, no, it's not good. Skeletons in general are a bit of a nightmare right now. Anyway. I feel like, if anything, this, like, chunk rendering issue might almost work in our favor, just to highlight where the mobs are, and maybe we could see a zombie villager from a distance. But, anyway. The skeleton AI is just vastly more accurate on hard mode now. So ever since switching to hard mode, I've taken more, like, hits from arrows than I ever had beforehand. And I've only been in hard since episode, like, 105 or something, I think it was. Whichever the episode about difficulty was. Ooh. Can I see any spawners? We X-ray now. Hey, Pixel 11, I've been streaming for a long time today. About 3 hours. Coming up on 3 hours. Not sure where the uptime command is not working. Is Nightbot dying? Nightbot is probably having a funny 5 minutes. There it is. Skeletons in the ground. Could have stuck it in cooldown. Yeah, probably. I really wish there was a way. You know how you can skip the night by sleeping in a bed? I wish there was like a nap couch that you could just nap on during the day. Where did Mrs. Pixelriffs go? She just went to do whatever she's doing. Like, I think probably playing Tetris 99, actually. But, What? You're not being summoned back. People are just wondering where you've gone. And I'm telling them that you don't have the time to just hang out, watch me stream all day. Got other stuff to do. Music reminds you of Animal Crossing. I've never played Animal Crossing. Are they coming out with a Switch game yet? Because I might be kind of tempted to try out Animal Crossing on the Switch. I know it's one of those games that eats your life in the same way like Stardew Valley or whatever does. It's a management sim, sure. But I thought Breath of the Wild was going to be that way, but I still haven't got that far in Breath of the Wild. I've only done 2 of the Divine Beasts now. Mostly I just don't allow myself to play it for hours and hours of the day because I know I've got work to do, but... You like the camp style base? Thanks. Yeah, I thought it was just going to be like... This is base camp. This is Research Station 1 for Villager Breeding Program Alpha, or whatever we're going to be calling this. This ridiculous venture of mine. Those T-blocks won't spin themselves. Entirely not. Mrs. Rifts has her own life? Yeah, it's true. See you later, Steve Weasel. Have a good one. What enchantments do I have for my bow? I have power 4, I think. I don't even have power 5 on this one. Yeah. Unbreaking, Infinity, and Punch. Punch is like, you know, either or. I don't really mind whether I have Punch or not. I think it just turned up, so I was fine with it. Breath of the Wild got you out of a gaming sort of dark period, did it? That's fair. It's a good game. I'm really enjoying it when I'm playing it, but yeah, I'm not like spending hours upon hours playing it. Especially considering we've only got the one Switch and we both like playing Tetris. I also downloaded that old Nintendo Entertainment System emulator thing they've got on there, like the kind of classic games collection, because to play Tetris 99 you've got to have a like a Nintendo Online membership, which doesn't really get you much right now, but one of the other things it gets you is a free download of the NES Classic sort of selection. But I never grew up playing NES games because I was a Sega kid, so I had the Mega Drive 2, or the Genesis as it was known elsewhere. And a lot of those games don't really hold any kind of nostalgia for me. I don't really know what to do in them or how to play them. I know with Mario it's just like go from the left-hand side of the screen to the right, but stuff like the old Legend of Zelda game, I played that for about 15-20 minutes the other night, and I really didn't know what to do or where to go because it doesn't tell you. And it was one of those games that it just drops you in the world without any kind of objective, but like in the old days it had like a manual that came with it that had a map of the area and like a few points of interest marked on it and stuff. Like the original Final Fantasy game had that, where they basically shipped it with a map, like a poster-sized map. How do you get Fortune 3 on a pickaxe with Fortune 2? Add another enchanted book with it. If you get an enchanted book that has Fortune 2, you can upgrade it to Fortune 3, or just find a Fortune 3 book or a Fortune 3 tool of some other kind and combine them. If they included some of the old GameCube games you pay for Nintendo Online. Yeah, I think the only reason I'm paying for it is just Tetris 99 right now. And that's been worth it, to be honest. Like, that has entertained us for enough that I think it is worth the money right now, but obviously that's very much a personal preference thing. Just gonna start my own bamboo forest over here, BRB. kind of neat that you can just build bamboo on top of itself. I mean, obviously you can, because you can do that with other stuff like this, but it doesn't seem like you should be able to because of how it starts. It's not like sugarcane, where it's obviously a thing that you can build on top of. Bamboo breaking sound is getting close to being as satisfying as the ice breaking sound. It is. It is. I like it. It's got that pleasing kind of xylophone resonance to it. That wooden kind of tuck noise that's just... tuck. I know, it's just nice. It is not possible to get a mending book for an enchantment table. My take on the worst armor and tools in the game, I assume you're talking about gold. I mean, leather is technically the worst armor in the game, isn't it? In terms of the amount of armor points it gives you. Do I have to have a take? You mean in terms of enchantments? I don't know. There is no, like, bad enchantment now for armor, because you can stack them all. And in terms of bad enchantments for tools, I mean, I don't want to have Fortune 3 on a shovel, because I don't want loads of flint. Curses are annoying, but, I don't think of them as enchantments. Because you can't disenchant them. So much stuff I just can't store in these chests now. What's the easiest way to get a mending book, and how long did it take me to get one? The easiest way to get a mending book is probably just to fish a whole bunch. Because then you get mending bows and fishing rods as well. So you cut down on the amount of things that you need to apply mending books to. And with a mending fishing rod, you can basically fish permanently. Just like forever with the same rod. Perpetually, not permanently. You know what I mean. And then... yeah, getting a reliable source of mending books, you probably want to go with villagers, especially considering now villagers are very easy to manipulate. You can just place down a lectern, see if the villager is trading mending. If he isn't, break the lectern, put the lectern back down, check again. The trades re-roll every time your villager changes profession. Fishing will take about 10 hours for one book, or on average, you know, that makes sense, but you can get lucky and you can find one sooner, or it could take longer, like it's a roll of the dice. But then it took me longer than 10 hours to find this villager who trades mending for me, so it all depends on how you start out, really. I'm also going to chop this tree down, by the way, because half of the foliage from the tree next to it is just staying there, and I find that annoying. How many levels is a full beacon? How many tiers? It's like 4. 81 blocks on the bottom. 49, 25, 9. If you AFK fish overnight, you usually get 2 to 4 mending books. Yeah, it depends whether you want to do AFK fishing or not, I suppose. Is there a torch in there with a cured villager? Yes, there is. Ta-da! Hey, how you doing? You good? Good. Can you imagine if there was a 5th tier to a beacon? 5x5. It's like 125. Not 5x5. Wait. No, 11x11. If it was like... because it's 3x3, 5x5, 7x7, 9x9. What's 11 squared? Is that like 100 and something? 121, there you go. It's on the tip of my tongue. Close to 125. Let's be real. Don't know where I was getting that from, though. He's an unemployed swamp villager, yes. I have yet to give him a profession. I'm planning on getting 2 unemployed villagers first. And then, I mean, if we can get more than 2, then great. But with 2, we could start a breeder of sorts. And then, yeah, giving them professions once we've got a bunch of unemployed guys. That's the idea. You found a skeleton spawn and built an XP farm from it. It was underground. You made a fish farm near to it and went AFK for a day. You got 3 mending books. There you go. Waiting for 1.14.1. Yeah, that's a lot of people are, it seems like. I couldn't resist updating, but then again, this isn't a server. It's an internal server, I guess, but being a single-player world, it kind of made sense. But you're right, the performance issues are definitely worth waiting for, and I can understand why everybody is. It's a shame, though, because the update being on hold for so many people just because of not wanting to update a server with performance issues is kind of akin to us having to wait so long for 1.13 in a way. Just having that long wait. Nalu Weeb with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for subscribing. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I appreciate the support. Thank you. NCT is a great source for mending stuff. I mean, mending tools and stuff spawn in there pretty regularly, yeah. They generate as part of the loot. What is this new area? This new area is a project that I'm going to be working on all week for the Survival Guide series on YouTube. We have a jungle next to a swamp, and we're going to breed villagers in both locations to see what all of the new outfits are, to work on building a village from scratch, just to see how everything works in the village mechanics. It's going to be a lot of fun. And to start with, I need myself some zombie villagers. I've got one from the swamp, I want one from the jungle as well. Hence why I'm flying around to despawn mobs and respawn them in this area in particular. Because if I can get a zombie villager spawning in that jungle area, then that's kind of where I want to be. Knowing my luck, they'll spawn in that river biome. But yeah, if anybody has some zombie summoning mojo, drop it in the chat. Now is the time. Seen some witches over there. Oh, okay, that's... I'm going to call you Tito F. Zeus. Thank you so much for the follow. Or the Twitch Prime sub, I'm sorry. Welcome to the Pixels, enjoy your emotes, etc, etc. Just Tito, there you go. Just Tito. Because that could be read a completely different way. Any particular reason why I chose this area to try and get zombie villagers? Because jungle and swamp. Jungle and swamp villages... Oh, we got one! He's hopping sideways through the bamboo. The legend. The legend 27. Bamboo and zombies seem to interact very strangely. I like this. Let us observe this behavior in more detail once we kill this skeleton. But jungles and... Oh, that's so funny. I like that. I want to use that for something. Jungles and swamps both have unique villager costumes. You get away. They have unique villager costumes, but they do not have naturally generating villages in those biomes. So it's kind of cool to get ourselves zombie villagers from these locations to see what the costumes are like, because you're never going to run across a random village in a jungle or a swamp. But you can make one, and you'll be somebody with a village that has unique villagers. I don't know what we're going to build like for the village. I mean, it makes sense if we wanted to follow the existing style of the other villages in the world, then those are pretty good templates to draw from, and all we need to do is pick a decent color of like stained clay to go with the resources that we have in this area, to go with the jungle wood color palette. And you could do houses on stilts in the swamp, you could do houses in the trees, in the jungle. Like, there are some very obvious house styles that suggest themselves. But I kind of want to do something a little bit different. And stylistically, I've been building rustic stuff for so long that I kind of want to branch out and do something a little different. But I also don't want to make this week of videos all about building. And considering that houses aren't really necessary for the villagers because they don't require doors anymore, they just require beds and workstations. They still want somewhere sheltered to go in case of a raid and stuff like that, and they still interact with doors in different ways, but doors aren't required for the game to detect a village, as far as I know. So I think, yeah, I think we'll probably build with a slightly different style to what you might expect around here, but we're not going to make a big deal of the building side of things. We're just going to focus on how to breed villagers, how to manipulate villager professions, their day cycle, like the behaviors they have at different times of day. And then eventually, if we want to, we could get, like, we could find the nearest villager pillager outpost. We could trigger Bad Omen. We could make the area defensible from a raid. And then I could try and win a raid for the first time and talk about Hero of the Village and how that works. Because the first raid, if you guys haven't seen this on the YouTube channel, the first raid I tried to do, I lost. And all of the villagers ended up getting killed. But that was with a village that I had made no preparations with in the first place. I didn't know what the raid mechanics were. I didn't know how to, like, how many waves of enemies to expect. And because I'm on hard, I got 7, which was definitely not the number I was expecting. They just kind of kept coming. How many villagers would I consider as ideal? In terms of what I want to start with, all I'll need is 2 zombie villagers cured. I've cured 1 already. But in terms of total village population, I want to see 1 costume, like 1 type of villager from both biomes. So I want to see, like, the different costumes for all of the jungle villagers and all of the swamp villagers, which I think there are 13 professions, and then unemployed and nitwit, so we're looking at around 30 villagers. And with that said, I don't know if we'll want to get more. No. Don't be exploding next to my cured guy. I don't know if we'll want to get more villagers just because there will be a chance to get like a bunch of librarians and get better mending book chances and stuff like that. Okay, server's lagging slightly. Internal server is lagging slightly. Stop trampling my spuds! But it's an internal server. The world is lagging. Stop messing with my villager. I know the slime isn't going for him, but I get anxious. I always feel like they're going to take, like, squishing damage or something anyway. Alright, let's despawn some of the stuff that's on the ground. And try and get one last shot at a jungle zombie villager before the sun fully comes up. Nope, I think we missed the spawn window. Nothing new. Well done! Another fruitless night. That's fine. We've got other stuff to do. Hey, Enrique, what's up? Today we are trying to catch ourselves some zombie villagers. We've got one already. We've got one in here. He is all cured from the swamp over here. So we're going to do a little bit of bamboo farming and... I don't know. Maybe explore this jungle a little further. Because I think there may be other jungle temples we could take a look at. Beautiful. You have a bow that has power 4 and it one-shots mobs already. Should you get power 5? Up to you. I mean, I find the power enchantment comes up in my enchantment table so regularly that there's really no point not enchanting it unless you really want to save levels. But I'm, you know, I'm not that fussed about it personally. I think power 4 is adequate. I love the fact that the zombies can pass through bamboo, but they just kind of like jump up and down. That's really funny. It does lag so much less on single player. Let's add a couple of these around. I want to place loads of village workstations. I want to get like barrels and stuff in here, but you have to be pretty careful about that because I don't want this guy to suddenly become a fisherman. He probably already thinks that bed is his. Are the best enchantments on tools and armor the same in 1.14? I mean, they are, except you can have all of the different types of protection stacking on armor now. So you can have protection 4, blast protection 4, fire protection 4, and projectile protection 4, all on the same piece of kit. Should put a bed in there with him. I will eventually, but he doesn't need it right now. Like I said, I'm trying to play this like villager management sim eventually. But I'm only going to start doing that stuff for the YouTube series. Don't think a villager can claim a point of interest if they're surrounded on all 8 sides and can't pathfind anywhere. Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm probably going to start looking up a lot of information on the wiki before I try and talk with any authority about these villager mechanics, and I will probably still get some stuff wrong. But you'll have to forgive me that one. Do I play Fortnite? No. Who plays Fortnite? Nobody plays Fortnite these days. It's all Apex Legends now, isn't it? I don't keep up with the Battle Royale stuff. It's not my scene. Am I streaming until I find a zombie villager? No, I'm probably streaming for another, like, 40 minutes. If we don't find one, then I'll keep trying off camera, but I do need to stop around 7 PM my time and think about getting dinner and everything. You prefer PUBG over Fortnite? I've never played either of them, so not my bag, not my cup of tea. Not going to deny it to anybody else, though. Expand this swamp out into the swamp. If you breed a red sheep and a blue sheep, do you get a baby purple sheep? Yes, you do. The colours do actually mix. I seem like a person that played Halo. I did not play Halo. I did not have a console between the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox 360. And I got an Xbox 360 really late. I got it like basically when one of my co-workers was giving away his because he had an Xbox One now. But no, I never played Halo. I did a little bit of PC gaming here and there, but not much. Like, I played a bit of StarCraft back in the day, but yeah, between PS2 and that, I went to university, didn't really have money to buy new games. I lived in a house with a guy who owned an Xbox 360 at one point, so we played games like that together. We played Gears of War and stuff like that, but no, I never got into Halo. I'm pretty sure he gave me Halo 4 for the Xbox 360, but I don't have that anymore because it red ringed. Put a hay block under the campfire. Why? Don't need to. I don't want extra laggy particles in my world. Hey Elkhorn, welcome along. Glad you can make it. We're curing zombie villagers today, if we can find them, which has taken a while. I got one from the swamp, but one from the jungle has not yet materialized. Try showing a green paper at my webcam so I'll be invisible. I can do you one better. Ta-da! What did I major in? Music production. How's my beastly PC doing? It's alright, thanks for asking. It's getting roughly 200 FPS, but I think I've got it capped. Oh no, it's unlimited right now, okay. I am in a jungle though, so... Beethoven, no! Stop! Don't get me DMCA'd. I swear, he tries it every stream. Beethoven emote when? Maybe rendering will improve if you cap FPS? No, nothing fixes it. I've tried. I've tried enabling VSync, so it caps it at 60. It's not an issue that can really be fixed yet. Will I ever make a creeper farm? Yes. The plan is to do everything. Not sure what we're going to use these two dispensers for. Or the sticky pistons, but hey, we'll find out. Maybe we can make some pillager traps if we ever get raided. The Beethoven War. Not sure it's a war yet. See if he annoys me anymore, though. How am I supposed to end Survival Guide? I don't know. No idea. I mean, on the one hand, it's a shame they released the update in this state, but on the other hand, I've been having a lot of fun playing it. So, I can put aside the occasional chunk loading issue, chunk rendering issue specifically. It's not really loading. The stuff loads because I can still fly into it. But, yeah, there's always going to be performance issues with this stuff. Like, they released the update Aquatic with a bunch of bugs related to, like, lag and performance issues and so forth. But people just get on with it. Like, ultimately, it's whatever makes you happy, and right now, this update has made me happy. I really enjoy a lot of the stuff they've added to it. It's also been a fantastic source of new video content for Survival Guide, which is ultimately what I want it for. I'd be playing it anyway, but being able to make tutorials about it all just really fuels my inspiration. Does that mean Survival Guide is going to be a 100-year series? No, I'm probably going to die in about 70 years or less. I'm 32, so I'm probably not going to be playing Minecraft until I'm 101, but I'm estimating myself to have a very generous like lifespan at this stage. Which is probably not going to happen, but I should start looking after myself, shouldn't I? Is this a new world? No. It's the old world, just with different wallpaper. Bamboo ASMR. Hey, I'm fine with that. Well, supposedly we'll be getting 0.1 this week. Supposedly. We'll see. I do hope it happens. I would like everybody to enjoy this update. Yep, there's a lot of stuff in there right now. Drink healthier tea. Haven't tried to create a nether portal in the end. What happens? It just sets the frame on fire, but it doesn't light in the same way the nether portal in the overworld does. You don't get the purple swirly part, you just get a fire in an obsidian frame, and then you look like an idiot. We're planning on making an iron golem farm. Yes. The plan is to do everything eventually. But learning a little bit about the villager mechanics in this week's episodes will be quite a useful primer for all of the iron golem stuff that's going to be happening eventually. In the meantime, if you want a tutorial, Doc M put out a really good one the other day. Depending on what you think is really good, but I think it's really good. It covers a lot of the mechanics in very close detail, and the farm itself is brilliant. We'll see if it stands the test of time and see if it's still effective as of the 0.1, point however many updates. But hopefully it should work for the long term. Am I planning on global thermonuclear war? Possibly. Let's see how rowdy the villagers get. Ask again later. And yeah, making iron farms is easy now. Making iron farms that don't lag out your world is hard. Making iron farms that don't require you to fill up your passive mob cap with villagers is difficult. But once again, hopefully that will end up getting reverted as a change in the 0.1 updates. Because having villagers not have their own mob cap somehow is a little bit weird. I mean, they don't really need a mob cap as such, but counting them among passive mobs does seem a little foolish. If you keep posting things in the chat in all caps like you're demanding for me to do something, Mexboy, we will time you out or ban you. It's nothing personal, but it doesn't seem particularly polite that you're just yelling at me. Really sucks for console versions, I know. But the console versions don't really have the same iron farming mechanics right now anyway. Leaf decay will lag out your server. Yeah, I mean, anything that's relying on like random updates and stuff like that is going to cause lag. I mean, crops growing in a large enough quantity would probably lag your server out as well. It's the game checking for whether it's close enough to a tree block and, you know, however many decay stages it has and all of the data that goes into stuff like this. Whether they're persistent and the distance from stuff and everything. It makes some really interesting mechanics like, you know, redstone stuff transferring via leaves possible. But, yeah, it's also going to cause a little bit of lag. This is the trade-off. Am I a PvP kind of Minecrafter? Absolutely not. I'm neither a PvPer nor a parkour kind of Minecrafter. I am a builder. And a modestly technical player at this stage, but yeah, very much not into PvP or parkour. Really tempted to switch from Bedrock to Java, but learning how to play will be so frustrating. Yeah, that's the reason I don't make stuff from, like, I don't make a survival guide that works in Bedrock, is because I would have to relearn so many of the Java mechanics. I'd have to, like, unlearn all of that stuff just so I could play the other version. Just playing Cobble Clicker with Zloy, I learned so much stuff that's different about Bedrock that just would make no sense to me as a Java player. And some of it is useful. Some of them are, like, little tricks about, like, if a zombie converted into a drowned while it was holding anything, then it dropped all of its stuff. You could get all of the armor and the tool it was holding guaranteed. Is that a... Yes! Yes, we've got one! Oh ho ho! And he's a pirate! Let's get him! Uh-oh. Did we aggro that guy? I think we aggroed that guy. Hey, fella. Hi. Oh, okay. You're a feisty one. I like you. Let's keep him. No, you don't. No, you don't. Come around this way. Why is that guy freaking out? Oh, you got a little rose for me. How lovely. Very kind of you, but I'm married. Much as I appreciate the gesture. There we go. Nailed it. What a capture. GG. Oh, and that Enderman's getting his as well. Great work. Great work. Okay, 2 villagers. They're coming to your town. That Enderman got what was coming to him. Bring the rain. Quick check around for creepers. That Enderman's still trying to attack me. Rip. Booyah! 'Tis day! Welcome. Welcome to the day. Let's see if that guy turns up again. Got a sword with his name written on it. I mean, I think Endermen become less aggressive during the day anyway, so... You, back, away. No, you don't. Alright, so this guy's holding something, so he's not going to despawn anyway. Which is great. Good news. Can take care of these two while we're at it. Nice. Let's cure this guy. Why didn't Mojang make Java Edition the same as Bedrock? Different programming languages are better at different things. That is basically the answer right there. For example, C++ is really good at rendering stuff long distance. But the thing about Java Edition is that it only has to work on 3 platforms: Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. The thing about Bedrock is it has to work on Xbox, Switch, basically PS4, everybody's iPad back until like iPad Generation 2 or something, like phones and all kinds of devices, Android devices, which are just like a whole minefield of different variations on the hardware. And so they've got to come up with a system that works as a compromise for everybody, not to mention all different kinds of control styles. Whereas Java Minecraft, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to be playing it with a keyboard and a mouse. Get cured. So, yeah, there's so much variable there. No, it is not possible to make Java and Bedrock crossplay. They are 2 different games. I'm pretty sure Bedrock is coded in C++ anyway. 2 different teams making them as well. Yeah, but the 2 teams are, you would hope, in constant communication. Was Minecraft completely rebuilt for Bedrock? I mean, Bedrock kind of spun out of Minecraft Console Edition, which was the version that was on Xbox 360, PS3, and Minecraft Pocket Edition, which was the version for mobile devices, back before Bedrock and the Better Together update merged everything. So now Bedrock platforms have crossplay with each other, but Java does not crossplay with Bedrock. Bedrock is Windows 10 too. Yeah, that's that. Yeah. That's the platform I was forgetting. Enka Hess with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime sub here. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. Do mobs not despawn if holding something on all editions of Minecraft? I don't think so. I think on Bedrock, like, it's a roll of the dice. Because none of the mechanics about spawning and mob caps on Bedrock seem to be as consistent as they are on Java editions, so I don't really feel qualified to answer that one as far as Bedrock goes. But for Java, definitely, but that's just one edition. Hey DMB, we are celebrating the capture of our second villager, who's going to be our jungle villager, and he will eventually, in this little pod over here, be cured and turn into an unemployed jungle villager. And then I'll have everything I need to set up my next episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide, which is going to be the Tuesday episode, because Monday's one is already recorded. But while we're here, while we're still on the stream, while we've got about half an hour to go before I need to do anything else, I figure we may as well try for a third. I've got enough potions and golden apples here to cure up to 5 zombie villagers. So if we can get another one as a backup, that's probably going to be a good idea, just in case one of these guys kicks the bucket during the night. Should name them Madam and Steve. Steve and Alex. They can't hold things on Bedrock, can't they? I thought they could. I'm pretty sure, like, they have the capacity to carry stuff. Like on the Cobble Clicker map we've been playing, zombies could hold pickaxes. Like, they are capable of doing that, and I think they do. Do they pick up... Is it they can spawn holding stuff, but they don't pick up stuff that players throw them, or what? Does it make sense curing someone with a weakness potion and a golden apple? No, but it also doesn't make sense that there's zombies. We live in a fantasy world. Madam and Steve sounds like a bad soap opera. It sounds like a reality show waiting to happen. Anytime you're ready, sir. Anytime you're ready. Playing Minecraft is your family time if you're split 2,000 miles apart. That's good. That's a good family activity to share, I think. Building stuff in Minecraft together sounds like a lot of fun to do if you're separate. Would vegan MC be possible? It might, yeah. I think trading is probably quite useful for that, because villagers, if you consider them to be people, then they can trade you stuff that you might need for various things. Like, you can bypass the need for leather by buying books directly from librarians, or buying bookshelves and breaking them. That kind of stuff. You can definitely go vegetarian as far as, like, your diet goes. You might have to steal a bed from a village. Look at that outfit. Hello. I like that a lot. He's got some, like, green pants going on in there. And you're unemployed, right? Good, okay. Doesn't have a hat. Whereas the swamp guy clearly has some, like, swamp stuff on his head. Like this guy. I love that. I love that. It's the default, like, head garb for them is, like... It's like they've just got some seagrass and gone... Real good. Real good. Okay, we got our villagers. I'm happy. I'm happy chappy. So let's, I'm going to take another quick break. I need to run to the bathroom. But then, yeah, we'll spend the last 20 minutes seeing if we can get a third zombie villager to add to the collective. Be right back. Pseudo-random with the 400 bits asking, will I notice this? No. I ignore everyone who's generous to me. Welcome back, folks. Okay. Let's do a Minecraft. Thank you for the 400 bits. Appreciated. Oh, speaking of generosity, Marcelia has subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. Thank you for pushing us over the mark to 210 subscribers. You guys are rocking it lately. I want to thank you so much. This little Twitch affiliate is very, very happy. Is there a mesa variation of a villager? Nope. Villagers are plains, taiga, savanna, snow biome. Is there another one? There's 4, right? Desert. Desert is the fifth one I'm thinking of. Yeah, plains, taiga, savanna, desert, snow biome. That's where the villages spawn. There are unique costumes for jungle and swamp that do not have naturally spawning villages. Everything else is just plains. So if you breed a villager somewhere else, they just have the plains villager outfit. That's like the default. So there are 7 different like costumes for villagers total. You have 2 different costume villages. You planning on setting up a Romeo and Juliet type scenario? I'm pretty sure they're not going to have like warring families quite yet. We could name, like, if I wanted to name them, we could name them like Montague and Capulet though. I like those as sort of ambiguous names. What will the next episodes be about? This is, you're looking at it, basically. Tomorrow's episode is about wandering traders, and I come to this location to introduce this project. We are going to be building a village from scratch, and then experimenting with, like, villager breeding mechanics and stuff like that. So we're going to be looking at, obviously curing villagers is the same now, but we're looking at villager professions, breeding, what they need beds and workstations for, the daily routines, unique stuff you can buy from villagers, like the fact that you can't craft the bell, you have to make it like as a trade, and yeah, just like a bit more unique stuff about villagers in 1.14. It's going to be this whole week is going to be villager week, starting with introducing the Wandering Trader as well, because that's the first time I spotted one. One Man Legend, subscribe with tier 1 sub. Thank you so much for subscribing. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. Thank you, thank you. Now let's do a quick bit of plankage, slabbage, and then trapdoor making. Cool. Let's move that in. Just want to add like a little extra bip, 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 bip. Like so. Round off the roof. Yeah, it looks nice that way. Hop. And pop one of those down there as well. Cool. Oh, I hear a zombie baby. Zombaby, where are you? Oh, there he is. Hey! Hi there. Don't want to gather around the campfire for s'mores? Oh man, give me 2 seconds here, chat. Sorry about that. Oh. You know when you get a tickle in your nose and breathing out is like... Ah, drive me crazy. Anyway. What I want to do is put up some trapdoors around the outside of this. Allergies? No, not really. Like, I've never really had them. Or if I have, I don't know about them. Which is like, occasionally, it's like getting a tickle in the back of your throat. It's not like you're allergic to anything, but there's like... there's just something going on there. That kind of looks cool and kind of doesn't. Like, maybe you should use a different type of wood or something. I think it looks good from the inside, but on the outside it just looks too flat. Then again, maybe we could just, like, dress it up with leaves or something. I just feel like this is too open. It needs a bit more of a structure to it. There we go. Gives me 2 fewer sides for mobs to sneak up on me as well. Now we have to be less picky about where stuff spawns as well. Maybe we'll get another zombie villager around here somewhere. It could be out here in the swamp. It could be over in the jungle section. We'll see. Make a pattern with some other trapdoors in there. We could do that. I kind of wish it was possible to make trapdoors with a certain pattern but a different color, you know? Like how oak trapdoors look different to spruce trapdoors. I kind of wish it was possible to make the oak trapdoor pattern with the spruce wood. I guess you could do that with a texture pack, but that just isn't the way I prefer to do things. And I like the spruce trapdoor too much for all of the other stuff I've built with it. It would break a whole bunch of my other builds. Swoosh! How am I flying? Welcome to the concept of elytra. Minecraft 1.9 introduced these things which are basically glider wings. You go to the end, and once you've beaten the dragon, you can explore the islands outside of the central end island. And sometimes they have cities. Sometimes those cities have boats, and those boats always have elytra. They were added in Minecraft 1.9. They were only really a glider at that point, but then the community realized that you could shoot yourself with a bow that had the punch enchantment. There we go. Now it's starting to lag out. But yeah, the punch enchantment made it possible to boost yourself into the air. And that was difficult to do, but it was something that a lot of people just kind of learned to do. And then eventually Mojang realized that people were doing that so much that they figured, why not add some way for players to do that anyway? And so they added in the possibility of boosting yourself using fireworks. And now that is the most popular way of traveling around on a large multiplayer server, especially. Yeah, the speakers are making weird noises. Just gonna ignore that skeleton. Where is a zombie villager? Not here. Do I have a realm or is it just solo? This is a solo world. I don't have a realm either. I have a server hosted by a different hosting company, but that's for my patrons. How many villagers do I already have now? I have cured 2 today. I have a bunch of other villagers back at my base, but I don't want to do any of this, like, experimenting stuff with them. the idea is that this is going to be like a very test-heavy week for these villagers. And at some point we might end up trying to build a village that can be defended against a raid. That's the idea. We'll have to deal with the skeletons first. And now we need to explain a raid. Raids are a new thing. Raids have just been added in this update, Minecraft 1.14. And they're a little bit broken. But there are these new mobs in there called pillagers, which are basically like evil villagers. Also, welcome to 1.10, which introduced Vindicators and Evokers, who are also evil villagers. They live in woodland mansions. But pillagers have crossbows. And occasionally, when you encounter one out in the wild, they will have a banner attached to them. Welcome also to the concept of banners, which were introduced in 1.8. And pillagers, if you kill one of the ones with a banner, they give you this effect called Bad Omen. And next time you walk into a village, a raid starts. And there are several waves of the raid where a bunch of enemies will spawn in and try to go in and kill all the villagers. If you defend them successfully, the villagers will give you a discount on all of the stuff you trade with them. They will also release fireworks into the air, and that occasionally blows them up. It's been a few months since you played. Well, you haven't missed too much then, but if you didn't know what Elytra was, then, yeah, you've probably not played too particularly far in lately, because most of the time now, players go straight for Elytra as soon as they can. And depends on like how you choose to play the game. Some people prefer to play a little bit more slowly, but for some people, Elytra is basically the first objective because it's a really quick way of getting around the world. Oh, hey, Pigman. Get out of my fake village. Did we get any? Oh, we got gold nuggets from that. Good. Usually just a server player anyway. Yeah, a lot of people are waiting to update their servers for this update as well because there's a few performance issues and bugs and that kind of thing. The usual junk that happens when a new update rolls around. Just throw this stuff out. I kind of want to keep a decent amount of the mob loot though, because eventually we're going to have to trade zombie flesh to clerics and that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure clerics still have the zombie flesh trade. Otherwise, what good is it? There's also that one server that had an iron farm up in the first hour of it existing. I mean, yeah, there's some folks who are power players. I've got some folks like that on my Patreon server, and it's how they like to play, which is totally fine. Like, it's neat that they get that stuff up, especially if it's a community resource, so anybody else who's like a power technical player can build as many hoppers and fancy redstone mechanics as they want to. Do zombie pigmen convert villagers into zombie villagers? They don't actually attack villagers. Villagers will run away from them because there's that leftover zombie tag, I guess, in zombie pigmen, but zombie pigmen don't actively try to attack villagers. I kill them just because it's fun. Because they just spawn out of the nether portal and I want them gone. Let's put this in here as well. Have this be the sugarcane and bamboo chest. And yes, before you ask, there's bamboo now. So it looks like we didn't get a zombie villager that night. I think we're probably going to call it there. I don't fancy waiting for another night, and it's about time we wrap up the stream and raid somebody. So thank you guys so much for being here. Please do stick around for the raid. It's always a great thing to show some love to some other streamers out here in Twitch land. Got a few of our favorites in the chat right now. Let's see. Let's just search Minecraft and see who else is out there streaming. Got a couple of A couple of European streamers topping the list today. Let's scroll down and see who else we've got. Sorry, folks. Back with you in a second. Looking for some folks who are playing Vanilla 1.14. There's somebody who's playing Minecraft 3DS. That's fun. Alright, cool. There's somebody here who's got a Minecraft 1.14 SMP, and their stream is tagged family friendly, so hopefully this should be a pretty kosher stream to drop you guys off with. We are going to be raiding Ajira Kimberly. There we go. And is apparently playing 1.14 with viewers like you, the stream title says. So hopefully you guys might be able to join in if you guys want to play some 1.14 action. But they've got 12 viewers right now, so let's drop a big old raid on them. Don't forget to use your Pixel Hype emotes and the hashtag Pixel Raid. Show some love over on Ajira Kimberly's stream, and I will see you guys on Tuesday for another Chopping Tuesday, where we will probably be doing a little bit of work clearing out some stuff around here and maybe building these villagers some houses. Until then, my name's been Pixel Riffs. Thank you so much for stopping by the stream today. I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Bye for now.